and welcome to another Meme Stock Meltdown stream. It's been quite a while since we checked in on this stuff, so I'm pretty excited to get back into it today and see what's been going on with all of our favorite apes. How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a good week so far. Woo! I was having something earlier. I've been working on the video, you know, my medbed video, and I was having some writer's block earlier. And I felt like shit about it, but I took a nap and I'm doing better, and I banged out some words, so that's good. Writing is hard when you haven't done it in years. Welcome everyone, welcome. Hey, Just a Peach, how's it going? Rick M, Mr. Blast, Harold Elwoman, hello, Mr. Duck Sauce, Nemesaur, what's up? Elk Owl, Terradona, Jay's a Proxy, Rick M. How is everyone doing? Hopefully well. Today we have some stuff to catch up on. We have maybe some Ape Father stuff. I'm not sure if I want to get into it, because his stuff is bordering on weird life stuff. I don't know if I want to comment on, but it's so weird. I don't know if I cannot. As the title suggests, one of the Bed Bath & Beyond apes went to court, let's look at the clock, yesterday, and asked about the share count. The judge had to break it to him. There are no shares to count. They're all gone, and that is courtesy of Sunny Corax, formerly Noisy Corax. So we'll check out that video. We have some more PP stuff. We have some Marantz. So overall, a pretty good smattering of meme stock bullshit. If anyone didn't see it recently, GameStop did another share offering. So it's back down to the 20s, like lower 20s, I think. They're still not making an operational profit. The only reason they're making any money is because of their T-bill investments. They invested a bunch of money into crypto, so that's certainly a business decision. Has Marantz become richer than Elon yet? He is not. One sec, I gotta go mess with that light. It keeps turning off. I am ordering a new one. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Let me fix that real quick. I don't understand the Bitcoin thing. Like, obviously, y'all know that I think Bitcoin and crypto in general is a big scam because, you know, of all the evidence that it is. But, like, if you wanted to invest in Bitcoin, you would just invest in Bitcoin. Why are you investing in a company buying Bitcoin that then also has the operating expenses of an outdated brick-and-mortar store? I don't get it. Whatever. They're turning into a hedge fund, but I was told that they hated hedge funds and that they're evil. So anyway, let's jump into it. Okay, so here is the court appearance. We'll start with it, because it's fun, so why not? It's about a half an hour long. We might end up skipping a little bit, or speeding it up, depending. I've already listened to this. It's pretty entertaining. So yeah. This guy's name is something Kurzon, Jeff Kurzon. He's apparently a lawyer who is also a Bed Bath & Beyond ape, and he went to court to try and get clarity about the number of shares, which again have been 0 for over a year. So let's check it out. I know people were going to make the Kurzon joke. No, not Kurzon Dax. He's not a Trill. Notice the lack of dots on his hairline.
13359. It's Mr. Jeffrey Curzon's motion to compel disclosure of shareholder ledger, reconcile share discrepancy to maximize estate value and other related relief. May I have appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. We're the plan administrator, Brad Sandler, and Beth Levine, and Pachulski Stang, Zealand Jones.
Good morning.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jeffrey Kurzon, pro se, on behalf of Class 9 solely for myself. And previously I was here on
Reminder that Class 9 was the designation for the shareholders in the waterfall disbursement plan. So if you haven't really watched my meme stock stuff, the long and short of it is these people were invested in Bed Bath & Beyond, the failed home goods company. It went out of business and went into bankruptcy. They were delusional about this the whole time. Everyone was warning them, hey, this is going bankrupt. It's not going to be worth anything. You should probably sell this stock. Well, you can, if anyone will even buy it. They were in denial about this. They rejected it. They spun countless conspiracy theories trying to explain away the reality in front of them. And then one day, they were canceled, of course, because they were warned. But they've still been in denial that their shares were canceled for over a year. So, this was, again, yesterday, one of these people going in front of the judge as a pro se litigant, trying to ask questions about things that are quite obvious in the paperwork.
Anonymous shareholders motion as a participant, and I had...
They're still at it. I should point out, as I've discussed in my other meme stock stuff, the community has shrunk. As time has gone on, more and more people have left, have realized they got tricked. So many people have left. It's just a smaller, more dedicated group. It's that distillation effect that I've talked about, where in any conspiratorial group, as people start to leave, usually the most rational, relatively speaking, people leave first. So you end up with a smaller group that on average is crazier, is dumber. Those aren't very nice words to describe it. It might be more accurate to describe them as maybe more devoted to the cause, more delusional, more able to hold cognitive dissonance in regard to the thing they believe. But for simplicity, we'll say they're the most gullible. They're the stupidest. Maybe not very nice, but you get it. Jay's a proxy with a 230 stream streak says 770 to go. Good news, Mike Lindell was ordered to pay $2.2 million to the Dominion executive. Sadly, he was sued for $26 million, so not as much, and Lindell took it as a win, but the trial coverage was crazy. I've heard. I haven't gotten super into it, but I did want to watch some videos about it because it seemed interesting. Hey, James, how's it going?
Indicated to the court that I might be representing my father's 1,000 shares that are held in a brokerage account. That's not...
They're not held in a brokerage account anymore.
The case now. My brother is also an attorney, and since our family business is the custodian of the Keogh plan where those shares are held, it would be inappropriate for me to represent my father's shares. And in any case, the narrow relief I'm seeking today, I think would have the effect of impacting all of Class 9.
Well, so Mr. Curzon, as you just said, you're an attorney, right?
Yes, but not before this court. Before this court, I'm a shareholder, only a shareholder.
Well, okay, but you're an attorney, and I think I don't know, maybe I'm being presumptuous, but you're an attorney and you're representing yourself. You perfectly have that able to do so and have that right. What you're not able to do is what you said, which is to represent other people unless they authorize it or the court authorizes it.
Yeah.
It sounds like what you're
That's
saying
right.
is the class
Yeah.
action, but there's no class action here. So you're here on behalf of Jeffrey Curzon
That's right, Your Honor.
and the shares you own, not anyone else.
That's right, Your Honor.
Okay? So that but the way you entered your appearance suggested otherwise.
Oh, I understand. Well, I guess I don't want to so-called gun jump. I want to just explain to the court.
So-called gun jump. I've never heard anyone say the phrase jump the gun like that.
Number one, my duty of truthfulness. And number two, that the plan is the plan. And that was confirmed by Judge Kaplan. And I respect the plan. I'm not here to attack it. I'm here to respect the judicial process.
I'm not here to destroy the law, but to fulfill it.
And that's why I mentioned my father's shares. I can also tell you that when I first appeared in this courtroom, and I believe Your Honor was here virtually with Kirkland and Ellis, and I assume Pacholsky was here, I was totally unprepared. In fact, I didn't really know what MGF...
The very hungry singularity says, wait, meme stocks are still going? Yes, they are. Smaller than it was, but they're still trucking along.
MJL or
PP's still doing his show regularly. He just has fewer and fewer people watching.
ML1 or whatever his name is, was asking, but I understand that he was seeking a shareholders committee, something that I tried to do and express because I thought that having a shareholders committee would represent shareholders' interests. And when I entered my appearance just now, what I was trying to imply is that under 11 USC 1123 A4 is that all members of a class should be treated equally. So if something applies to me, then I would just assume that it would apply to other members. But before we get into arguments, I want to address two matters of truthfulness to the court. One is at that hearing, I didn't think
Not
that
a strong PP stream, no, just a trickle. He might want to get his prostate checked.
I was well. I wasn't prepared. And I made a representation that there were 4 horses in my parents' yard. And that seemed a little bit crazy to me at the time, and it still seems crazy. So in the past,
When I listened to this the first time, I don't understand the point of the horse story. I get the impression that, like, he had to leave or couldn't appear or something, so he told the story about the horses, which is, I believe it's true. There are probably horses. I've lived in a rural area. Animals get out. That's fine. Just weird that he focuses on it or cares to clarify.
last week, I investigated at the Peterborough, New Hampshire Police Department, and I asked about it if there's a police report or anything to that effect. My mother now says it was only 3 horses.
3 what?
3 horses. It's a country, so animals escape. And
But what does that have to do with this?
well, because at the last hearing, I said that there were 4 horses, but now my mother has told me there's 3.
I'm gonna get past that.
Okay.
I'm past it.
Okay. Good.
For the record, there were only 3 horses. It's important for the record to reflect the number of horses in my mother's yard. These are the actions of a very rational attorney, by the way.
Good.
I don't need to deal with that.
The other item is in
I
everything.
appreciate you telling me, but I'm not sure what it has to do with the horse.
Yes, well, I just want to be 100% truthful, and I'm happy to testify under oath that everything I say is sworn testimony.
I will testify under oath to the number of horses that escaped into my mother's yard.
And in that
You're an
regard,
officer of the court.
yes, so I have a duty to be truthful at all times, not just to the court, but to others. But in my papers, specifically 4126.
By the way, here's a link to this video if you want to check out Sonny Korax's channel. He's in chat from time to time. He covers the meme stock stuff as well. And there's actually another video that I don't think we're going to cover today, but it's his other court appearances. It's like a supercut. It's called Jeff Curzon Pro Se Shareholder Supercut. So if you want to check out that video after stream, check out Sonny Korax's channel.
I said, my only client at this time is something to do with a medical device. I've learned since filing that it's actually a wellness device, not a medical device. So I just
He's so specific. Again, I don't think it matters that much. It's a wellness device, like the hair dryer thing. We did it. We came full circle. What'd you miss? Not much. Just this guy talking about horses.
want to clarify that for the record. But everything else I've put forward, including my statements that I held 58,008 shares directly registered. That was as of the plan effective date, and the receipt.
Wait, how many shares? 58,000? I wonder what his price average was. I hope he bought a bunch at the end when it was like 8 cents or something. Oh, Jesus. Even if at 8 cents, 50,000 shares isn't nothing. Oh my God.
Directly registered. That was as of the plan effective date. And the receipts that I submitted, Exhibit A in 4126 and Exhibit A in the second supplement on the first page, I believe it's dated October 1st, shows those 58,000.
That's 4,000. And I can't imagine he bought that all when it was under $1. Because if you'll remember, it was like up for a while, and then it precipitously dropped when they filed for bankruptcy for obvious reasons. But they kept buying after the bankruptcy announcement, so it was lower, but it wasn't zero. Yeah, I really wonder how much he spent on those shares, because that's just money that's gone. He might as well have like put it in a barrel in his backyard and lit it on fire. Like it's vaporized into the ether.
8 shares. So I clearly held shares which were interests
you.
under the plan.
I'm not just,
And-
I'm also past that you're a shareholder.
Okay.
You've submitted all kinds of sworn statements that you're a shareholder, or you were a shareholder, and you were, I think, based on the record that I have before me, you were a shareholder. So, you know, we have to deal with the issue of the plan and what the plan did to shares, and which is to cancel them.
Green guy with a $3 tip says, my wife has not worked since 2019. That's nice. I wish I hadn't worked since 2019.
Right. So,
And extinguish them.
right. So, but what was canceled? What's a little bit confusing is that the opposition to this motion, which is essentially a request that the shareholder ledger be disclosed, what's confusing is that the opposition has said that I'm a purported shareholder. So I have to make it very clear.
How about former shareholder? Does that tickle your ears? Is that okay? Former shareholder?
That not only was I a shareholder in terms of my brokerage shares, which were canceled by the notice to, I guess, Seed & Co. Brokerage shares were canceled. There was never any similar notice sent to directly registered shareholders such as myself. And the plan says.
So this is, again, they're trying to find little loopholes, trying to find any little conspiratorial place they can wedge in a theory to try and make it so they didn't lose all their money. No, just because you didn't get a specific letter for your directly registered shares does not mean they're still there. They are still canceled. I'm sorry. Like, it's almost depressing hearing this stuff. Like, imagine if you were like a doctor or something and you had to break it to someone that their family member had passed away and they just don't get it. It's like the parrot bit from Monty Python. Like, this is a dead, I don't know the bit. I'm not a Monty Python fan, but you know what I'm talking about. This is a former parrot or something.
That all allowed interests, or it says each allowed interests shall be canceled. But then when I add,
Sorry, so I generally don't want people to interrupt one other party's presentation, but it sounds like you have an objection as to kind of like some kind of, it feels like you have a relevance or type of thing.
To streamline the proceedings, we are prepared to stipulate that as of the effective date, Mr. Curzon was a shareholder.
There you go. I was I was, not only was I prepared to find that, I did find it just now. So I'm okay. You're a shareholder. You were a shareholder as of the effective date.
Tenses are important.
And now you were getting into your argument about the issue about whether it's an interest or an allowed interest, I thought.
well, so I have emails with the law firm Pacholski, I believe dating back to October of 23, which was shortly.
Miss Quilania says, so I didn't get properly notified, therefore I want to sue a company that no longer exists because, well, that's the thing. He doesn't even want to sue them. He thinks he's helping them, or he's just looking for clarity, what he believes to be looking for clarity. Like, he's not mad at Bed Bath & Beyond. They're not in that stage of acceptance. They think that Bed Bath & Beyond is being destroyed surreptitiously by, like, outside actors, and that they're trying to figure out some secret message hidden in the bankruptcy plan.
After confirmation. And I
would kind of understand if they were like, Bed Bath & Beyond, fuck you. Like, you know, there's personal responsibility there because everyone warned them, but, like, at least it would be putting blame on the company, but they're not even there.
Issues.
Who is he suing? He's not suing anyone. This is a bankruptcy hearing where he's asking for clarity on the plan.
Affecting the estate value. Okay, because as a shareholder and somebody who, you know, I'm an attorney, but I'm not a bankruptcy attorney, but I understand the absolute priority rule. And I understand that shareholders get nothing.
Jay's a proxy. It's not pining, it's passed on. The stock is no more. It has ceased to be. It's expired and gone to meet its maker. This is a late stock. It's a stiff, bereft of life. It rests in peace. If you hadn't nailed it to the perch, it would be pushing up daisies. It's run down the curtain and joined the choir invisible. This is an X stock. There you go.
Nothing unless all the creditors are paid 100%. So my goal is for that to happen, to
Plus interest.
plus interest, plus fees, plus expenses. I want creditors to say that Jeff Curzon is the best shareholder ever. Now,
Could I just say that that's a delusional thing to think anyone thinks about anyone? Like, no one thinks about shareholders like they're the best shareholder. That doesn't mean anything. No company thinks about shareholders like that as individuals.
for that to happen, though, the estate value has to be maximized. And for the estate value to be maximized, the plan has to be followed. And for the plan
Plan
to,
have to be what?
the plan has to be the plan. It has to, the plan
Has to be followed. Yeah,
followed, yes.
it is followed.
Well, then, how does it make sense that the allowed interests were canceled, but what an allowed interest is not defined?
So I
It's the
really,
shares. Your shares are canceled. It's clear. We read this document on stream. It does not... And he's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. How is he unable to decipher the document that made it very clear what was happening when you and I'm a dumb bitch. I'm a stupid motherfucker. I understood it and was able to talk to you guys about it. How does this person who went to law school not get it?
do want to stop you right there because an allowed interest is defined. It's defined in the plan definitions, and interest is defined. And
But then the definition uses more definitions. So the definition of allowed uses the schedule. And, you know, I came here from New Hampshire, and I drafted a lot of paperwork, and that's in the record. I asked Mr. Feinstein, who's not here, Mr. Sandler, who is, I asked them on June 5th, for a copy of what is an allowed interest. Was that scheduled anywhere? No response. And I asked them for clarity.
Amber with a link.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
It's a great movie. It's one of the best kids movies of all time. I'll die on that hill. One of the best live action kids movies.
Clarification.
Pretty stacked if we're going animated included. One of the best live action kids movies.
Of whether any equity
I'm talking top 5.
in any successor entity has been issued, received, or otherwise allocated. Because according to 1123A4, all members of a class have to be treated the same. So what I don't understand is why the seed shares were canceled, 701 million, where the 81 million, supposedly 81 million, because the company's, the debtor's public disclosure is that there were 700.
The top is obviously the 80s Mario movie. 90s. Came out in the early 90s, actually. And I actually do like that movie. It's not a very good kids movie, but it is a pretty fun, weird Mario movie.
82 million shares.
but Bill, I'm going to interrupt you though now because I read these provisions of the plan. I read, you know, your objection, their response, your motion, their response. It's very clear to me whether there's 780 million shares.
No, Three Ninjas isn't on the list. The greatest kids film of all time, by the way, is Neverending Story, in case you're curious. That's the objective answer. I will not accept any alternatives. The Neverending Story is the best live-action kids movie ever made. End of conversation.
701 million shares or 50 million shares. They're all canceled and they're all treated the same. They're all extinguished. It's whether they were canceled by CD and Co. some official notice from them is not relevant to me because the plan that was confirmed, and you're right, Judge Kaplan entered that order because I wasn't here then, determines that interests allowed, unallowed, any interest is canceled and extinguished. So there is no paradox, there is no question, there is no issue about it. If they missed some, if CD and Co missed some shares, they missed some shares. They're still canceled. They're still canceled.
Seed and
Could not be clearer. The judge is literally telling them, canceled. Every single one. Extinguished. They're gone. They don't exist.
Co is
Labyrinth, need more Goblin Bulge. I would probably go Neverending Story, Labyrinth, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Ooh, those next two spaces are tough. I'd have to think about that, but that's my top three.
is a shareholder itself, like just like me. I am Seed and Co.
They're canceled. Whatever they hold,
But then,
canceled.
but Your Honor, if respectfully, if all shares were canceled, then why does the plan say each allowed interest instead of all allowed, all interests?
Are you making a
Matilda's number 4. And for 5, No Love for Time Bandits. I like Time Bandits, but it's not one of my favorites. I do like Time Bandits enough.
distinction between each and all?
Well, it says
What
each
about Legend? Is Legend a kid's movie? Oh, Princess Bride. Princess Bride is number 5. There you go.
allowed interest, which is
Is Labyrinth really a kid's movie? I would call it. I watched it as a kid. I think most people watched it as a kid. I don't think it's like a 5-year-old kid's movie, but I'd say it's like a 10 to 12-year-old movie.
defined term.
So nothing in the last 4 decades. Not for live action.
It could have Kirkland.
There's been some really great animated stuff, but like kids movies have, how do I put this? A lot of them have gotten turned into stuff like Minions. So like I'm sure they're fine for what they are. I'm not going to sit here and be like, "Oh, kids movies are shit these days." I don't care. I just feel like the demographic they're going for is a little bit different. You know what I mean? They're aging it down a little bit to be PG all the time and have little minion characters.
Could have said all interests are canceled. It didn't say all interests.
It
It
is-
said
it-
A Kid Who Would Be King is amazing. I haven't seen that. Also, sorry, I'm getting off track. I'm paying
It
each
attention.
says
allowed interest, but then
all share, it could, I think the thing is, it says it so many times. It says class 9 consists of all interests in BBB.
yes,
It's
look right under that, Your Honor.
it says each allowed interest shall be canceled, released, and extinguished, and of no further force or effect, and no holder of an interest in BBB shall be entitled to any recovery or distribution under the plan. And they're deemed to have rejected it, all of them, whether allowed, unallowed, half allowed. And if your gripe is with the difference between the word allowed in B and interest in the heading, I'm clarifying it now. Even though I don't have to issue declaratory rulings, all interests were canceled. It couldn't.
Oh, that feels good to hear. All of them. Every interest. Jitara says, I was there on the front lines when the gates of the meme stock fortress were smashed open. They rattled on the wind as the shares were reduced to ash. High Priestess Hannah took her bounty and vindication as the misguided followers of PP grasp at the ash in confused supplication. A cleric of Paul's account of the BBBY shares being delisted.
Be any clearer. All interests were canceled.
Okay, if that's true, Your Honor.
Yeah.
And
If that's true, the first words out of his mouth are questioning the thing the judge just said.
I want to believe that it is true, because then we've solved the problem. That
There's no what? Alted Undying says, not only is it a great kids movie, it's the best King Arthur movie of our age. Alex Le Destron Dun Roy. It's French, I don't believe you. I don't believe anything French can be of quality. except croissants. Croissants are pretty good.
That's why I wanted to get to this.
Okay,
I think it's your issue, and I'm telling you that they're all canceled.
okay, that's,
We don't need
that's
to
great.
reconcile. You don't need lists. You don't need it from me. I don't, and
Well, Judge,
putting aside, there is a major procedural/substantive defect in your motion because you're moving to compel something, but there's nothing that I have before me, like a subpoena or a notice to produce or an adversary proceeding or contested matter where there was a formal request made through that the court can enforce. You made informal requests, which I appreciate, and you should make informal requests, but there's nothing for me to enforce. So that I could deny it on those grounds independently, okay? And I would, and I will. But I'm just saying to you, I thought your issue, because you used the word paradox, and I don't think it's a paradox. I think
It's only a paradox if your brain desperately wants to not believe it's true. Alton Undying says, Sir Patrick Stewart played Old Merlin and my Canadian ass grabbed the French poster. It wasn't typed properly because Fox made, or hyped properly because Fox made it when it was sold to Disney. Oh, okay.
the opposite
I do like
of
Patrick Stewart.
a paradox. I think it's crystal clear that all interests in Bed Bath & Beyond Inc. canceled,
okay, so that's 782 million.
all of them. And your tax return is right.
It's so interesting that he keeps trying to, like, put a number on it. It doesn't matter. Whatever the outstanding number of shares were, that's how many. Every single one. Period. End of sentence. He just keeps trying to kindle some sort of controversy.
Okay.
If you took a loss because your interest was canceled, you're right.
Okay, so that I can go home and sleep on it and feel good about coming here today, I would like to submit a post-hearing statement. This will, of course, not be binding because I understand any amendment has to be agreed by the plan administrator and
There's no amendment. It's not an amendment. He clarified for you. What are you talking about, an amendment? Freyline says French bakeries and their militant unions are the exceptions. True.
DIP or the Philo lender.
But wait a minute,
want to
wait a
just
minute.
make a
We're
proposal.
here on your motion.
Right, but my motion is also a reservation of rights, and I'm trying to avoid litigation. I'm trying to protect the plan, defend the plan.
Now he's threatening to sue. I want to avoid litigation. You should want to because you would lose. It would be a waste of money. What are you doing?
Not collateral attack the plan. So my clarifying amendment to the plan is to say basically what Your Honor just said, is that all common shares are canceled.
It says it already. It doesn't need to be clarified.
But if it said it, it would say it. It says each allowed interest. It doesn't say-
That's what it means. It says it. It says that. It says that. You just don't want it to say that. It says that.
I am telling you, this is the plan that my court confirmed. And I am telling you that all shares in Bed Bath & Beyond, preferred, common, and warrants canceled,
including the Seed & Co shares.
including whatever.
Including the AST shares, I apologize.
Whatever.
Including the AST shares.
Yeah, I mean, but
Directly registered.
I'm just saying what's already there. I'm not issuing any new rulings. This is what's in there. It's done. It's over. There are.
Hey, Sonny Korax. Thank you for uploading this. I directed people to your channel for this, as well as a link to the other video you uploaded that's the super cut of them.
No.
This is incredible. Thank you for
interest
uploading this.
In Bed Bath & Beyond at this point in time.
But isn't it relevant how many interests there were?
You tell me why.
Because it's
Please
chapter.
tell me why you're wasting time in my courtroom and I have to yell at you about your canceled shares all day now.
11, and there's a possibility for an exit. So if I'm a billionaire and I see that all these creditors are owed money and I'm sympathetic to that,
Listen to what he's saying here. If I'm a billionaire and I'm sympathetic to a bunch of people who lost money and I just want to give them money for no reason, this is where they're at. What if a random billionaire just decides to give us money because they feel bad for us? Chitara says, do they not teach people what the word all means anymore? People just don't want to listen to shit that makes them uncomfortable. It sucks.
These creditors are owed money, and I'm sympathetic to that. I'll write the estate a check for whatever they're owed and take the equity and take the tax benefits. But if
That's not how that works. You would lose out. Why would a billionaire, like literally the most selfish people on earth, definitionally, you think they're just gonna give you money to be nice?
if I don't know how to distribute it to the equity,
And like, out of all of the problems in the world, too, that a billionaire might look at, like hunger, children dying due to lack of availability of medicine in like less developed countries, that doesn't stir anything in them. But this guy losing money on a bad investment, oh my god. Oh, let me get my checkbook. The narcissism. The abject narcissism. Oh, God.
because I don't know how many there were,
Yeah, but there's no equity to distribute it to.
not at the time, not at this moment, but there could be.
Yeah, so, and that's another thing. I can't do advisory or declaratory rulings, and I certainly can't amend a plan on a document that you bring to court on 2 years after the plan was confirmed.
The plan
Can't
has
do
a
it.
good faith provision in it, and the plan also has an amendment provision. So I'm just asking that for the benefit of the court to file a post-hearing statement which has a proposed amendment which can be accepted or rejected. And it essentially,
Where's the equity going to come from? They believe that the company shut down due to short selling fraud, due to naked short selling. So they think that any day now, the courts are going to discover this crime and take billions of dollars from the naked short sellers and give it to them. I'm not joking. They think that. Terradona says, if a billionaire gives out money, there will be a string attached for every dollar. Hydrate, will do.
says, for the avoidance of doubt and notwithstanding on any other provision of the plan, the term allowed interest as used in respect to class 9 shall include all common shareholders. Now, if they want to clarify that even further and say all common, all preferred, all warrants, fine. I
They
don't have
don't need to. It's all of them. Why would they need to specify when it's all of them?
the right to speak for preferred or warrants. I didn't hold those. I only held common. So this is just a request to file.
I can't do it. I can't do that. I mean, you could submit it to them, whatever you want. You submit to them whatever you want, but I'm not doing that today. And I'm saying to you, I'm not supposed to give advisory rules. That would require a whole host of things and notices and objections and all things. But it's not necessary, Mr. Curzon. It's not necessary because, again, you know what? We're right full circle. We're all the way back to where we started. Because there's no question that you, Jeffrey Curzon, your shares are canceled.
And under 1123A4, everybody's shares are canceled then.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's what it is. Thank you, Your Honor.
Alrighty. Oh, so in other words, you're accepting, what are you saying? You withdrawing your motion or what are you doing?
Well, it sounds like you've ruled on it already.
I ruled on it yeah, I mean, I had other things to say, but the bottom line is that the motion is procedurally and substantively defective because there's no adversary proceeding or contested matter in which you issued some kind of notice or process to compel something. And I just don't, so that's the ground to deny it. But I was trying to, Mr. Curzon, like you said, I was trying to help.
Yeah.
I was trying to cut to the chase scene. I was trying to remove the doubt that
Wonder what PP thinks about this. He didn't mention it in the show he did last night, which is Normally he covers everything that has happened up to that day, but he seemingly didn't cover this, probably because it's so, like, blatantly devastating to his entire grift. I imagine he'll just ignore it, but maybe I'm wrong.
You apparently have about what happened to interest, even though it says it 27 times in the plan and disclosure
But,
statement.
Your Honor, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a whole cottage industry of speculation on the internet about this case. And
Your Honor, but the guys on the internet told me I was gonna be rich! That sucks, man! That sucks real bad! You shouldn't listen to him!
And I can't do what is a bankruptcy judge in New Jersey going to do about a cottage industry that trades, if there is one, that trades in canceled shares? They better, I think people better be
It's not
careful
about
before they
trading,
buy.
it's
I would say
about the hopefulness of Class 9 to potentially get some recovery, because the injury behind this issue is that the suspicion of naked shorting of shares.
Here it is with the conspiracy again. Zero evidence of this. It's been years and there's still zero evidence of any naked short selling. But this is it, folks. He's gonna get the money.
If the price of the shares was deliberately manipulated, that's an issue for Mr. Goldberg to seek recovery of. And I don't.
Do these people not understand that, like, the share price does not make the company go out of business? Like, let's say there were a bunch of naked short sellers that artificially put down the price of Bed Bath & Beyond. That has nothing to do with their profit margins or their, like, insurmountable losses and the fact that they couldn't pay their vendors. Like, the stock price is separate from that. It's like they think when the stock price goes down, it's like people aren't allowed in the store to buy shit. Like, no, they're separate. They're separate issues. I mean, I guess they're interrelated, but, not in the way they think. Toreador says, with what money? The government will just they'll print fresh money for him. It's fine.
I don't see how Mr. Goldberg can investigate securities fraud as his fiduciary duty would be unless he looks at the ledger.
what actions? Didn't you have actions pending?
Yes, Your Honor.
They have actions.
Many, in fact, hundreds of actions.
Hundreds of actions. Okay, so that's
But-
positive. That's positive news.
I mean,
glad it came
I don't know.
today.
I don't know what to say.
Learn something.
You know what? I think a naked short means that you sell a short, the stock short, even though you don't have the underlying shares.
You don't have a borrow permission.
Yeah,
Just print a fake
yeah.
share.
This is
Yeah.
pretty good.
So just to continue that analogy, he couldn't be more naked because there's no shares. There's no shares. They're completely don't exist. And if somebody buys that like they buy the Brooklyn Bridge, then that's up to them. But this is not what we do here in bankruptcy court.
Mhm.
It's just not. I can't
But what
control.
you do
I
is-
can't control naked short selling in illegal markets
But you
because
do,
I have no jurisdiction. It
Your Honor,
doesn't
sorry.
get to me.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but you do enforce the plan in Class 9, assuming if all creditors are paid and there's
All creditors will not be paid.
still money left over in the pot, that would
There's not. There isn't. There's not. Where do you There's no amount of lawsuits happening that are going to overcome the debts.
benefit Class 9.
Yeah, I guess you know what?
have
If
to
that ever
distribute-
happens,
You
I
have to
guess
distribute
we'll
Class 9.
We'll cross that bridge if and when we come to it. I have a feeling that I might not be here.
Toreador says this Jersey judge is the cherry on top of the sundae. True.
When that point, if that point ever arrives, because from my understanding is that at the moment, the case is administratively insolvent and there's hundreds of millions of dollars owed to.
That means they don't have fucking money. Administratively insolvent is a nice way of saying they're out of goddamn money. They don't have fucking money. It's gone. They're bereft. They're poor.
To secured creditors still and unsecured creditors or billions. I don't know. Billions. So, I can't speculate, sir. I cannot speculate. So
Weren't meme stalkers way down on the priority list to be repaid anyway? I think they were second from the bottom. I don't remember who was at the very bottom, but they were class 9 out of, I think, 10.
Okay. Well, and instead of filing my post-hearing statement, I think I've pretty much said it on the record. What I'll do is I'll give Mr. Sandler a copy labeled draft as a way to just show the court that I'm acting in good faith and trying to constructively help the estate. And I'll also try to email a copy of it to the attorneys for the 6th Street, which I believe is the senior secured lender, so that, if they want to amend the plan to remove any sort of inquiries like I've made, because all shares have been canceled, all 782 million common, however many preferred there were, and however many
He's obsessed with a specific number.
warrants. That being, there's a cap table, so that if and when the lawsuits are successful and Mr. Goldberg fills the pot to pay all the creditors, he'll know where to send the money to the shareholders, who they were, and that seems like
Leave your address at the front desk. We'll call you. It's fine.
a very reasonable way to do bankruptcy law. But I'm a rookie here, so I really defer to your knowledge, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I guess my question was just simply, are you withdrawing your motion? Because if you want me to rule, I'll just rule right now. And I mean, I did rule really, basically, but I could fill in a few gaps, but.
Well, because the plan does not say all interest, it says each allowed interest. I can't withdraw my motion, but
You can. Let's be clear. You can. You're choosing not to because you're still holding on to some insane notion that you're getting paid.
respect your decision, of course.
Okay, well, I already said why I denied it on procedural and substantive grounds. I said that, but I also, in an effort to help, I did say to you that what is just could not be clearer from the plan and is not a paradox is that all equity interests in Bed Bath & Beyond Inc. have been canceled. It just can't be clearer. And then, so there's no basis to disclose the full shareholder ledger. But if it's to determine that the shares are canceled, there's no need for it either, because the shares are canceled. And then to submit a written explanation and reconciliation of the discrepancy between the number of shares held by CD and Co. and the number of shares outstanding as to the debtor is also is really kind of a non-starter, because besides there not being any matter in which that request is pending, none of even if there were, and you're an attorney, so maybe you know this, I'm not sure, but maybe you know this. Like if someone sends you a document request, discovery request, and it says, I want you to add these 3 columns and tell me what the total is. It's not, you don't have to create anything. You have to produce things that you have in your possession, custody, and control.
But Your Honor, I was handed this bag and left alone. No. He wasn't handed the bag. He paid for it. You don't get to force somebody to reconcile discrepancies. So I would deny that on even if there were a proper even if there were a proper discovery request, I would deny that. Where's I have a site for that actually.
Your Honor, I know we're in New Jersey, but in New York, there is the business corporation law that allows valid inspection.
Okay, well, you're in New Jersey. I imagine the judge knows Jersey law since, he's a New Jersey judge.
Business documents under 624 of the New York corporation law.
You're in
Use
Jersey.
that with both the plan administrator and with the transfer agent, and was denied in each case. It's a little confusing to navigate the interplay between, you know, Judge Kaplan, who's Article 3 judge, and you with the Article 1 judge, and then the New York state law being in a New Jersey courtroom dealing with federal bankruptcy. But, you know, I just thought the ledger doesn't lie. I'm looking for truth. And if you're telling me that I don't have a right to see the ledger,
I'm not telling you, I'm saying to you that you didn't put it in the correct procedural and substantive posture in this motion. And that further, that there's no right, there's no, even if there were, there's no right to compel a party to create a document and do things like reconcile shares that is not something already that was already produced and existing in their custody or control. And like, for example, Brown versus Warden Ross Correctional Institute, 2011 Westlaw 1877706 at star 5, Southern District, Ohio, May 16th, 2011. No duty to create documents simply to comply with discovery requests.
Wow,
Same
he
thing
had that citation ready to go.
is Smallwood versus Collins, 2010 Westlaw 2044953 at star 3, Southern District,
I
Ohio.
wonder if he's looking this stuff up or if his clerk is pulling this stuff up for him as he's kind of talking to this guy.
May 21st,
Pretty good.
2010, defendants have no duty to create a report for plaintiff or produce documents that do not exist or not in their custody and control. So that I couldn't do anyway. And then to preserve the rights of equity holders to pursue further relief claims and remedies is you're asking me for an advisory opinion. They are whatever rights and remedies you have or lost, well, you opted out. So whatever rights and remedies shareholders lost as a result of the plan, they lost. But whatever rights they have, they have. And I can't issue an opinion in a vacuum and an advisory opinion because there's no controversy before me. And that's Maxis Energy Corp. 641 BR 467-508 Bankruptcy D Delaware 2022. And so if there's an actual case or controversy that's before me, I'll deal with it, but I can't deal with it in the abstract. I'm sure you're familiar with that. But
Yes.
if you're not, now you are.
yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. So the motion is denied. The constitutional grounds, you got notice. So there was due process, and there was no taking without due process. There's a plan. And
Well,
the plan was
Steve got
confirmed.
notice.
and-
I didn't get notice, and the other 2,700
You
approximately.
got notice in the sense that it was written in the plan that was approved, that was publicly available, that we know you knew about. You can't even claim you didn't read it. We know you did. You're talking about it.
Shareholders on the register didn't get notice the way the seed got notice. So
Okay.
that's a slight technicality, but
But in any event, I can't deal with it because I didn't have any, I don't have that before me, and I saw proofs of service all over the place on the plan and confirmation of the plan and voting, and you voted, so you had actual notice. You can vote, you submitted a ballot that opted out, so you had actual notice.
I don't know if that's a vote, Your Honor. I think.
No, you're right. I corrected myself.
Okay.
It wasn't a vote.
Yeah.
It was not a vote.
I wasn't entitled to vote.
Crystal clear. No, it's okay. I deserve to be corrected. It's appropriate to be corrected. All I'm saying to you is that the actual notice that you had of the proceedings is evidenced by, among many other things, the submission of a form that opts out of the release. So the motion is denied for all those reasons.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Should we
Thank
settle-
you.
Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
Should we settle in order?
If you want to, yeah, sure. That's right, there. I don't have an order. You're right. Yeah.
We'll take care of that, Your
We'll
Honor.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what? Keep it simple. Motion is denied for the reasons set forth on the record. Because then if you start getting into all the
That was
nitty gritty, it's gonna,
intent, Your Honor. We'll send it to Mr. Curzon first, but that
Yeah.
will be the substance.
very simple. Just send it to Mr. Curzon. You have his contact info.
We do.
I know, right?
We do. We have
do.
his email.
And so, and the rules are, if you have comments, you try to work it out. And if not, there's a 7-day rule that you submit the form and 7 days to object. and you have to submit a counter proposed form of order. Okay,
Thank you, Your
Thank you,
Honor.
Your Honor.
thank you.
Appreciate the time.
Yep, no problem. Sorry, you didn't get it. I don't know if, you don't need to speak because I ruled.
Next time.
Sometimes lawyers are the smartest when they say nothing.
No, I don't know. I just.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
So there you go. The shares were canceled. Surprise. It's almost like I could have told them that over a year ago. Again, that was courtesy of Sonny Korax, and he does have another supercut of some of his other court appearances. So here's a link in YouTube and Twitch chat if you want to check out Sonny Korax's channel, and check out that supercut amongst other things he does. So let's see what's next. I don't think I did my spiel at the beginning, so in case I didn't, thanks everyone for watching the stream. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. If you want to support the stream, gift subs, gift memberships, and becoming a member or a subscriber are always helpful. Thanks. All right, let's see what Marantz has been up to. I haven't caught up with him in a while.
Hi guys, welcome back.
The title of this video is GameStop is worth $30 billion. I don't agree with that statement.
To Marantz, plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice.
I really should have told them over a year ago. Shame on you. It's true. It's true. I'm a real bitch.
So I want to talk about.
Is Marantz still in his dad's spare room? No, I'm pretty sure he and his wife made up. I think he stopped being a mentor to that young woman. But nah, he's back at home. Toreador says not even in Zimbabwean dollars.
About GameStop and how they are a $20 to $30 billion company right now. That's what they're priced out at. If you guys are not familiar, GameStop has a coffer, right? So the coffers themselves hold 1 billion shares. They have currently released 447 million shares with written for, on convertible notes, a total float all the way up to almost 600 million shares. So after the converts of 600 million at $30 a piece, basically, it's around $30. It goes all the way up at a premium of 30%. So $38 and some change. If that were the case, these shares convert, you then would have $40. I'm ballparking numbers here for you.
Why is he doing this while driving? He also has headphones in. I don't know what state he's in, but where I am, it's illegal to drive and wear, like, headphones or earbuds at the same time. So, that's maybe not cool.
3 times the 600 million shares, that would give you $24 billion market cap. Well, GameStop still has 400 million more shares. So what it looks like, what they're doing, they're offering their company at a note, right, at a clip of around.
They're selling more shares so that the book value goes up, so Ryan Cohen gets a bunch of money whenever he decides to leave, so he can leave all of you holding the bags. That's going to be a fun day when that happens.
$30 a share. They just did $28 and some change a share again. So if that's the case, they're giving you 100 million shares for $30 a piece. It's $3 million. $3 billion, I apologize. So you take the $3 billion times the 400 million they have left to offer up, and you literally have $12 billion of market cap added onto the already float of 10, and if it were going to be $30, then you would have that $30 billion market cap. So people are paying that. People are paying the premium of GameStop being worth $30 billion. Now, how do they actually prove those profits, or how does it worth that? That's what I'm trying to tell you, okay? I'm trying to tell you that they have priced themselves at $30 billion for Wall Street, and if you know anything about S&P 500 inclusion, that already eclipses.
Is he still on this S&P 500 shit? Marantz, they're not putting GameStop in the S&P 500. It's not operationally profitable. Their business does not make money. The business that they are doesn't make money.
The amount that they need. So, yes, Wall Street is repositioning themselves on GameStop. pinning the price down at $23, $22 a share, that's not a bad thing.
The price is down because they just did the offering. What?
I also want to talk about dilution of you, the shareholder. A lot of you guys out there will be told, well, they're just diluting the current shareholders. You see, value of shares is not the dilution that you need to be worried about. It's the accumulation of shares. How many do you have?
What? What are you talking about? You're talking past the issue. By selling more shares, they are diluting the amount that you own, basically, and they're dropping the price because there are more shares available publicly. It's like a basic supply and demand thing. It reduces the value of each share because there are more shares that make up the totality of available shares.
Have enough. You should be in share accumulation stage if you believe the company's headed up and to the right.
So basically what he just said is, oh, you don't like that they lowered the price on the shares you already own? Fuck you! Buy more, bitch boy! That's what he just said.
On the chart itself. Now, everyone on Wall Street agrees GameStop is worth $30 a share. That's what they're paying.
Wait, what?
On Wall Street agrees GameStop.
Everyone on Wall Street agrees GameStop is worth $30? No. No.
Is worth $30 a share. That's what they're paying. And they're paying it with the clip of knowing that there's 1 billion shares available to the public. So, if that's the case, they're a $30 billion company, and that's just at nothing. 0% interest on borrowed cash that they could pay back tomorrow because they haven't leveraged themselves that much when they have that much cash right now, right? Sitting on $9 billion of cash. So, it all makes sense, like what GameStop's doing, if people understand how the financial gymnastics actually work. But the truth is, the company's worth much more than $30 billion because you could sell it to Wall Street for, at each clip, it's fine. But those shorts got to close. So there's going to be the rush.
There's not... He's still on this. Like, it's like religious doctrine. Like, there has to be a bunch of naked short sellers because my thesis depends upon it. Listen, back in like 2021, the company was over-shorted by a lot. Not naked shorted, but it was shorted to like an extreme and unsafe amount by many hedge funds, which led to them going out of business after it did, jack up in price because of the mania going on. But that ceased. It's short-sold to some extent now. I don't know the exact number, but it is not short-sold to the extent that it was in 2021. That's never going to happen again. At least not anytime soon. Ugh.
You have FOMO coming in when they finally figure out just how valuable GameStop is. And GameStop runs a profitable company.
Oh my god, GameStop, Sonny Korax in YouTube says, GME short interest is 12.12%. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, that's not, no. What was it in 2021? Wasn't it like close to or even slightly over 100% short interested? It was like a lot. It was a ridiculous amount that was like crazy. I get it. The company was and is shit, so I kind of get it, but still. It wasn't reasonable for the precarity of the situation, or the precariousness of the situation.
Company. So it looks like it's primed to rip. You just got to give it time. And that's all I have is time, so...
It's been 4 years, Marantz. When Moass?
I enjoy the stock. I understand it. And I'm very excited for what's to come quarter after...
Literally, if he'd gotten a part-time job at Wendy's, he would have made more money than if he just... than what he's doing now with the stock. I'm just putting that out there.
Quarter if they offer up $1 billion at a time. Well, good luck, guys. There's people out here paying $3 billion just to get 100 million shares. Well, come back to the table because somebody's actually doing it. Peace.
Jesus Christ. Oh, he's still doing the giveaways.
Hey guys, it is Father's Day today, so we're going to be doing our giveaway. We're going to go hit the valley. We're looking for dads, grads, kids, anybody we can actually give these PSA graded cards to, anything from...
He literally spends money to give people shit to promote GameStop. He doesn't work for them, and he's doing advertising for them. Toreador says he could have done nothing and made more money with all the money they've lost.
GameStop.
Yeah.
We have plenty of donations for the channel, and I just want to say thank you in advance. Let's go get it.
We stop at every GameStop for plushies and shoes.
Oh no, he made an AI GameStop song!
Let's go get it.
We stop at every GameStop from beach towns to the bus stop. Control of dreams and trading scenes. Switch games, plushies, and shiny things. First stop, Florida sun on blast. Theme park's cool, but we drive past fast. See that red sign, hearts go pop. Mom, there it is, another GameStop inside.
I'm sorry, this is so bad.
It's a treasure chest of joy. Vinyl Funkos, retro toys, Pokemon card sleeves in stock. We scan the shelves, we check the clock. We stop at every GameStop from beach towns to the bus stop. Control of dreams and train scenes. Switch games, plushies, and shiny things. Yeah, we stop at every GameStop. Family road trip can't be topped. No matter where we go, we know the red and white sign means let's go.
Okay, I know why it's got the vibe of Christian rock. It's Christian rock for GameStop people. You know what? It has the vibe of, like, worshiping, like, I love you, Lord, but, like, it's GameStop. It's got the vibe of Christian rock, but instead of Jesus, it's GameStop. Oh, fuck. Orion Cooper with a $2 super chat says, I have cringed into a corn cob. Damn you, Hannah. You're welcome. Andronicus Khan says, did they just rhyme stop and stop? Was this work by Fred Durst?
One by the mall near Cheesecake Slice. One by the beach, they were super nice. Staff said hi with a knowing grin. You're the third family today. Who's been?
You're not making GameStop better. You're making AI slop worse.
Fun deals on games he missed. Sister grabbed a Mario twist. We took a selfie near the wall. Collectibles, we want them all. From state to state, it's still the same. That cozy little gamer flame. A home
I'm not sure where you filmed this first name bunch of numbers.
away from home. You see a place for fans and families. We stop at every
Hey, how about we don't film children from our vehicle like a creep, Marantz? How about we don't film strangers' children walking out of the GameStop from your fucking car? This is the exact kind of music Kais puts over a video of himself driving through traffic. Yeah, Kais is back. I've seen him on subreddit again, so he hasn't disappeared. That's good.
GameStop, our vacations got that pop. From Orlando rain to desert sun, we're chasing joy, just having fun. We stop at
That looks like a sad GameStop. I'm just gonna put that out there.
new adventure, same old shop. Snap a pick a price, say hi. It's not goodbye, it's next one. Let's try. Yeah, yeah. We stop at every game.
I will say this, at least AI slop isn't copyrightable, so these people put this crap in their videos. I don't have to edit it out like I do when they put licensed songs in there, so that's good. Jitara says, this song sounds like, one sounds like one the... Wait, what? This song sounds like one the pop songs on the pop station in The Sims, except way worse. Are you having a stroke? This song sounds like the pop songs on the pop station in The Sims. No, I get what you're saying, though. The Simlish.
Stop. Just one more before we drop.
Oh my god, he's bringing a fucking piece of rolling luggage into the mall.
Guys, we're back. Now, we did stop at every GameStop on the way here. We have one more in the mall. We have one more in Palm Springs. It's Father's Day.
Florida. He's in Florida.
So my plan is to walk in here and give stuff away to the dads, to anybody I see that is interested in cards. If they want a PSA graded card, we do have them. We have over $2,000 worth of PSA graded cards.
That's what kids love, right? Is cards they can't play with because they're put in a fucking thing.
Given away. Those won't be given away unless they, well, I'll show them how to do it, but the other cards, gladly give them away to the kids. There's some real hits.
You're right, there is a Palm Springs in California. He might be in California. Is there also a Palm Springs, Florida? Am I crazy?
It's in there, as you guys know. We opened up some great
I don't
packs
know.
this month, but everything's going to go to the families right now. So
You're probably right, because if he was in California, you're right. I was thinking of Palm Beach. There you go.
let's figure it
So
out.
he's in California.
Let's go. Hey guys, it's 110 degrees today already. It's going to be 118. So that's why we came to the mall, because it was too hot. It was just too hot out there.
Look at the thriving mall economy. No wonder GameStop is doing so well. Look at all the people in the mall. Ooh. The irony of doing this in a dead mall. Yeah.
What's going on, my man? Hey, do you like GameStop, or you like
Oh God! Don't come up to me and try and
Pokemon video games?
There's a Palm Springs in both states. Okay, I'm not crazy at least.
like that? You do? Okay, so here's the thing. We have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And we give away free stuff once a month. We go to the mall, we give away free things.
Okay.
And so we want to bring light and attention to what GameStop does.
Okay.
So GameStop actually is transitioning not only from video games, but they're also doing like graded PSA cards, Pokemon cards, sports cards. Are you interested in any of that stuff? Do you know anything about it?
I know about Pokemon cards, yeah.
Great, so you know about Pokemon cards. So check this out. Do you have a cell phone?
This guy's body language is screaming, I don't know what to do in this social situation. And I don't blame him. Mr. Blast, thanks for gifting a sub. And Toriador says they need the Economicon to bring GameStop back from the dead. That's pretty good. And Orion Cooper with a $2 super chat says there's more alive in the mall in Dawn of the Dead. Ba-da-ba-bum, ba-dum-bum-bum, ba-dum-bum, ba-da-da-da-dun-dun-dun.
Yes, I do.
So watch
The song's called The Gonk.
this. If you do me a favor, you do yourself a favor. If you download the GameStop app,
Okay.
I'm going to show you how you can look for value on Pokemon, okay? And I'm not even looking to see what we're going to get you, because I still haven't looked at it. I have it face down, right?
Okay.
So go ahead and start downloading the app, and we'll talk it out in a minute.
Don't, what, fuck you! Fucking, what if he doesn't want to download the app? What are you being pushy and weird to people in a mall to get them to download a fucking app? Oh my god. Can we get this guy out of the mall?
I'm going to give you a couple of different options here. Hold on.
You
I got to give them options.
douche.
It's gonna be long. I'm sorry. Just
No.
I'm kind of in a hurry.
2
right
minutes,
now.
if that. You just
Fuck you, Marantz. He said he's gotta go. Leave this person be.
download the app at GameStop, and you're good.
All right.
Sorry.
This is embarrassing.
If it's going to take long to download, we won't even worry about it. You're going to be able to do it when you get home.
All right.
It's already going. Oh, you're fast. He's got a good connection. All right, so that's GameStop, right?
All right.
Perfect. Now I want you to go on the part where it says right here. You see where it says you can get a quote right here? You see this?
Oh,
Get an estimate?
yeah.
Come on in. I want you to see this part.
Oh
Says,
my
"Get an estimate."
god, this is so
shoulder the phone
uncomfortable.
right-
Like, this guy didn't expect to be filmed today. He didn't expect to have a camera shoved in his face and to be used as a promotional tool by this fucking D-list YouTube asshole.
There.
All right.
So right here, you're going to go ahead and scan. Well, which card do you want? Let's do that.
I'll
It's
try
free.
that one.
Okay. So this card's yours.
All right.
So now we're going to flip it over, and it's Jolteon. Okay, Jolteon,
yeah.
PSA 10,
Okay.
2022. Now what you're going to do is you're going to scan it with your phone.
All right.
Okay.
Press that scan.
Yes.
Who doesn't even work for GameStop. I assume the vast majority of people that interact with Marantz, especially when he's wearing the GameStop shirt, assume that he's employed by them, because of course you would. You see a guy in a GameStop shirt doing promotional shit for GameStop, you're gonna assume they're a marketing guy and that they've been paid to be here. Like, this is insane behavior from someone who's not working for the company. Toreador says, I bet $5 shiny they didn't get him to sign a release.
Stand there. Allow. We're perfect. Go ahead and try it again. No.
Dude,
Right
fuck
there, there we go.
off. This
Now
guy
we
wants to leave.
Scan the top. You can tell it'll read it. Eventually. It's gonna catch you. Just move your phone around on it.
Oh,
Catches it. It
so
catches it pretty
so
quick, pretty
good.
All right.
Keep going. Zoom in and out, up and down. Get closer. There we go.
There we go.
Perfect. Now let's show the camera what we got here. So it's going to show you the
Or maybe let him go because he said he was in a hurry and stop being a pushy fucking dick.
value. You see the value?
Yeah.
So it says it right there. It'll tell you $81 on trade-in at GameStop credit. So you can trade it in for $81 or you can cash it out for cash, $70.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So that's completely
Okay.
free from GameStop.
Oh, thank
Well,
you.
it's from us from the channel Marantz Rants on YouTube.
Okay.
We donate a lot. So
right.
as you can tell, it works out
All
for
right,
you.
great. Bye.
This is what GameStop does now.
Bye.
Not only video games,
I'm gonna
PSA
leave.
graded cards, and you
Bye.
can check
Bye.
the price with your phone. So if you have
Bye.
a collection of PSA, you want to see what it's
Bye.
worth, get down there and trade it in if you
Bye.
want. Cash it out if you need
Bye.
the $70. It's all on you, and that's
right.
from the viewers of the channel, okay?
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
I'll subscribe to your channel too.
Well, I'm going to give you the info
That was fucking painful.
on your way out so that you can. It's on YouTube,
All right.
Marantz, Rants, TikTok, YouTube, the whole deal, okay?
All right.
What does he have? Like, what is that business card? Is it a fucking envelope? What?
Thank you so much.
Hey,
What
all right, brother,
is
take
that?
care.
Oh my god, he's got a business card that's this big.
All right, there's one guy. He actually got a really good card right there. There's a $70 card, $80 card. Phenomenal. Let's go. And once again, I gotta thank all the subscribers.
Hey, fun fact. A, business cards are kind of cringe for a YouTube channel. But if you're gonna do it, you do normal business card sized. It's just normal sized. What the fuck are you doing, man?
And the donators
People are less likely to hold on to your business card if it's inconvenient. Fun fact.
to the channel. These guys give away so much, and I'm forever thankful. He downloaded the app. That's the good part. Now he's got it. How you doing, sir? Would you like anything free from our YouTube
I socially pressured him to download an app he's never gonna open again.
channel?
What a W.
We're doing free giveaways. You don't want anything? All right, brother. Enjoy. Hey, you win some, you lose some. We had to come inside. Those 100-something degrees. I see all the kids down there. We're gonna make our way down there.
Is
The
the
guy was in a
mall
hurry.
is the mall okay with this, by the way? If I was the mall, I would not want this person in my store harassing my customers.
But you know what? It's okay. He actually downloaded the app really fast. He was able to scan it, check out the price, the value,
He didn't. You made him do that.
and it was $80 for pro members to trade it in. $81. That guy just came up. He can trade them all in, get himself a Switch 2 or something. All right, here we go. Should we bother anybody? Nah, I don't want to bother her. She's working. She's on her lunch break. Oh, I got these kids.
I know this is just because I'm very America-brained, but if I was in a mall and I saw a guy with a rolling suitcase, I'd be afraid he has some sort of, like, weapon in there that he's gonna pull out and go fucking they live on all of our asses. So,
kids over here.
Foxers, thanks for 16 months with Prime. I appreciate your subscription.
Check out these guys.
How does he do this as a living? He doesn't. He works at Costco. And there's nothing wrong with working at Costco. I've heard that's a great company to work for. I don't understand why he should have put his money in Costco stock. He'd be doing a lot better. At least Costco's a relatively solid company. Like, what's he doing?
Let's see what we got here. Hi, guys. So we have a YouTube channel and we give away free stuff from GameStop. Did you guys want anything?
The founder still works there, and I think he's in his 70s or 80s. Oh yeah, I'm sure as soon as he dies, the quality's gonna go right down the drain, and the employees are gonna get treated like shit like everywhere else.
Free from GameStop? Okay. Okay.
They aren't interested.
Yeah. I'm completely positive it's
Oh,
free. We've
God.
been doing this for years and years and years. So my name's Marantz, and we have a YouTube channel. It's my wife and I. We give away free stuff from GameStop.
I didn't realize he had drug his wife into this. Because he used to have that young woman that he was mentoring, was his camera woman, but now his wife does it. So that's good, I guess, but oh, she could do better. She could do better. We're on a hype train, 31% to level 1 on the hype train.
GameStop every month.
If you want to help out the hype train, you can use bits, you can gift subs, you can subscribe.
So a couple $1,000s worth of gifts and prizes. They're from viewers of the channel. They go ahead and...
Altered Undying with 100 bits says, hype, thank you. I'm gonna be honest, how does she film this shit with him and then ever be sexually attracted to him again? Am I crazy? Seeing this video makes me immediately like, oh, yeah.
give out a lot of donations. And so what we do is we give back to the community, we travel, we do our thing, and we hand out free stuff. So what's your name?
Sophie.
Sophie? Wes? Don't be Wince. Don't be shy. You like Miniso? Yeah. So I like Miniso too, but the thing is I like GameStop more. So it's not nothing against it. And ma'am, if you don't mind, I'm gonna give him some free stuff.
Okay.
We're good? Okay, cool. Now do you guys have cell phones?
Yeah.
Okay, you got a cell
He
phone?
does, but he doesn't.
It's okay. I got something for people with cell phones and without cell phones. So it works out. If you have a cell phone, go ahead and download the GameStop app and you're gonna get something free right now, okay? And for you, young man, you
Mr.
like
Duck Sauce, thanks for 19 months, as I would be dry as hell if my significant other was doing this because of a cult.
what is that?
Oh yeah, he likes Pikachu.
You like Pikachu? So this is a whole brand new Pikachu. It's yours. You can have that. No worries.
And back he goes.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Now we're gonna give you an option on PSA graded cards, and we're gonna talk that out. Let me know if you downloaded the app yet.
Oh my god, fuck off. This push to make people download apps is annoying from companies, much less their weird followers.
Downloaded the app that fast?
There's so many apps. There's too many apps. Stop making me download fucking apps. Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs and getting us a level higher on the hype train.
Awesome, let's see it. All right, here we go. You ready? So, allow, do all the good stuff. Okay, so right there, you're gonna hit get.
If he was alone, he'd be reported faster. That's probably true. I know Baha also said, is he trying to have a woman there to break down people's defenses? That could be a part of it.
Right here, these are get.
Because, like, random middle-aged man giving stuffed animals to children is not a great look. Overthought with the 100-bit says, old stream yells at cloud. Thank you. 30% to level 4.
Estimate. No, go back. Get estimate. Do you see it? Get estimate, that button right there. Okay, so this is a new function for GameStop, okay? They actually sell PSA graded cards online on GameStop.com. I haven't even looked at these, right? I just grabbed them back.
Is he aware that most people don't know what PSA is?
I haven't even looked. You haven't looked. I haven't looked at them. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna allow you to pick one. When you pick the one you want, I'm like, oh my god, okay. When you pick the one you want, what we're gonna do is we're gonna scan it. And we're going to show you how you can see value for the card.
Does he think he's going to single-handedly help the stock price by getting 2 apps downloaded a week? Yeah, I don't know. It's delusional. Like, this does not move the needle. Like, there's a reason companies don't go out and have people do this. Like, it's not effective advertising. Like, this is not going to move the needle on this at all.
Okay, so which one do you want? All right, so this PSA graded card is from GameStop.com. They grade the cards, they send them out to PSA, they get them back. GameStop allows that service. This is the card she picked. Okay, so you can zoom in, boom, perfect. Young lady, this is your card. Okay, this is your first PSA graded card from us. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna attempt to scan it. So you're gonna hit that scan button. Scan like that, like a picture. Allow, there we go. and you're gonna go ahead and hover over it. Do it. There you go. And it's $60 store credit. What's the cash amount that you could get right now?
51 point.
Are you a pro member or are you a regular?
Oh, regular.
So when are you gonna become a pro member?
He's treating GameStop like a word-of-mouth business. Yeah, it's crazy. His
You get-
company's decades old, and it's in every mall. People know about it.
So
56.70.
So you get $56 for the card cash, okay? And they will buy it from you. GameStop will.
And it doesn't make sense, too, because he's talked about before how, like, oh, this is the legacy business. Like, the brick-and-mortar stuff is going to wind down. So, like, why are you promoting that part?
This is how they traded their cards.
Lamont, I've been forced to download an app to get rid of our literal garbage. Really? That's pretty lame.
This is the value of them. So this card's completely free to you. Okay, so it's $50-something from the channel. You're
Oh my
welcome, young
God.
man. Nobody believes me when I walk up. It's all right.
Yes, because you're behaving irrationally. You're behaving quite irrationally, which confuses people.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, that was great for her. She found out the value, and now she has a PSA graded card. Let's go do it. Let's stick to the left-hand side for a minute.
I love Torrid.
Hi, guys. Box Lunch. That's a new store. I gotta go look that up.
He's just like, isn't his personality is a little bit like a character from like an early 2000s or early 2010s maybe comedy where he's just like a dude who's like completely oblivious to how he comes off. You know what I mean? Almost Michael Scott-esque, but without the likability. I don't know how else to describe it. Minute left on the hype train. Fedekagami says, maybe Marantz's wife is a losing money slut and nothing turns her on more than setting their life savings on fire. Woo! Then she's in the right relationship.
Hi, guys. Before we run off, so we have a YouTube channel,
Please don't run away from me yet.
and we give away free stuff from GameStop. And we're sponsored from all the viewers of the channel, all that stuff. We take all the donations, and we give it back to the people. So if you guys would like free stuff from GameStop, all you got to say is yes, and then we start talking.
Yeah.
All right, it works out. Okay. Each get one.
At least they seem enthusiastic. That's fine.
Like free stuff from GameStop. I'm dead serious right now. Hi, guys. Welcome to the mall.
Thanks for the hype train, everyone.
If you guys would like anything free from GameStop, all we
What would be the reaction if I saw him approaching in public? I'd be excited because I recognize him and I know him.
do, we
If
have
I
a
didn't know him, I'd be very uncomfortable. She looks uncomfortable. She doesn't want to be approached by this strange man.
YouTube channel. We give away free stuff.
Look at it. Did you see the
Mall.
skirting
If you guys would
by?
like anything free from GameStop, all we do, we have a YouTube channel. We give away free stuff from
The
GameStop.
body language, the shoulder, trying to... Ah!
I'm dead serious right now. Would you guys like free stuff from GameStop? What are you into?
what kind? She's turned around completely. She's like, no.
Cards, football cards.
Oh my God, she's so
You
desperate
like
for
Pokemon
him to
cards. Okay,
fucking.
Miss, don't be shy. Come over. It's cool.
No,
We're legit.
no, sir, do not fumble this. Your girlfriend could not be giving you more signals that she is uncomfortable. She is literally trying to pull you to continue. And he's just like, oh, free GameStop stuff.
I promise. Okay. So I'm gonna give you free stuff from GameStop right now.
He made a bad choice.
Do you have a cell phone? Okay, that's your lucky day if you have a cell phone. So all you have to do is download. That's all I need.
This is painful.
Now I'm really excited. That means you shop there. So, all right.
Oh my God, look at her. She's mortified.
Do you like Pokemon, anything? Well, you got little Stitch. Who's this?
Yeah.
You like Stitch? Like keychain guy? You don't like anybody Pokemon? Stitch.
I need to move on from this encounter because it's hurting me physically.
He's brave. The top, yeah. Miss, since you don't have a graded card, right? And you didn't do all that, I'm gonna do something different for you. I know I gave you a gift. Put it on up there, the barcode. Work it out.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, anytime exclusive. It's a backpack of Bulbasaur.
Okay, I think Bulbasaur. He called Bulbasaur Bulbasaur.
See this? This is about $80. This is a GameStop exclusive. It's a backpack of Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur.
You look like somebody would actually enjoy it. Okay? There you go.
Jesus Christ, Marantz. Okay. Okay. Let's do one more Marantz video and then we'll move on.
Hi guys, good morning and welcome back. I know we're going to talk about GameStop as I'm traveling because it's a busy weekend for me. I know it's Father's Day coming up, the most unappreciated day in the world, but
is that true? I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
I want to talk about the new developments for GameStop moving forward. As you guys know, they have a lot of cash, a lot of money, and then everyone out there on Reddit's putting out, what are they going to do with this cash? What are they going to do with the money? You know, a lot of people said this 4 years ago when GameStop had $1 billion. And we said, yeah, well, what is Ryan doing with it?
Yeah, what is he doing with it?
And like I told you, and like we've said so many times before, stacking the cash when it's really hard to raise capital, that shows you that he has patience, that he's actually playing out for the longest game possible, and what's ever going to be like most beneficial for the company and himself, because you know he actually owns the most shares of this thing. And as I look back and I reflect on like what Ryan's doing and what he's not doing, that's how I judge my management team. I always judge management teams.
My management team. He calls it my management team. He's acting like he owns like a large percentage of the company.
Stuff of what they don't do rather than what they do. Yeah. Because if they're not in a panic, if they're not in a rush, if they're not doing things that are going to jeopardize the future of the company, well then that's beneficial for all shareholders. I hope people know that part. But what's changing up with GameStop is they're leaning into being part of that card collecting community, and it has a lot to do with margins, delivery, and then of course it's the most hysterical thing happening right now, right? The hysterical.
Okay, but here's the thing. They've already had the card stuff in place for a while, and it hasn't had a materially beneficial impact on their balance sheet. I think they've at least had the PSA partnership for 1 or 2 quarters, and it's not like it's blown up. So what do you think's happening here? I don't understand. Do you think that the market for PSA grading is going to explode suddenly, or that cards are going to get even more popular? Because card games are having a moment right now, once again, like they have in the past. You know, it's up right now. Eventually, it'll go back down a bit. I just don't see how he thinks it's going to explode more.
Area behind waiting in line for Pokemon cards every Friday, people running around the whole world looking for them at Target, Walmart, even Barnes & Nobles. But GameStop sells a lot of Pokemon cards. They allow you to grade them, trade them, and give value for them instantly. So GameStop's slowly inching into the eBay territory on this one category.
You know, the hot and upcoming company, eBay.
And I think it's a power category for eBay for sure. But there's a lot of pros more than cons of why you go to GameStop. And GameStop's going to show value. It's going to show profit. The value proposition's there as well for most of it.
Chitara says, don't you know Bulbasaur, Hannah? It's inevitable the startups along with Chermuna and Squoodle, Pikachu too, if you got the yellow version. Yellow is my favorite version. I love Pikachu.
Investors and most consumers. So those are the things that GameStop's leaning into moving forward. But the best unknown, the greatest unknown, is going to be not using the cash, waiting till this market corrects itself, because it will. The market's extremely heavy. And you know it's heavy because we just had the greatest inflow in securities themselves. And if people don't understand the language, the vernacular that we use, people actually started buying more shares of companies at this overinflated value more than ever right now. And that's because they're uninformed. They're unaware. A lot of people think, hey, I'm going to save some money. I'm going to put more money into my 401k. You're putting in, and the SPY, the market itself, is at 6,000 points.
You're buying it at an all-time high, literally all-time high, compared to.
In fairness, a lot of times in the market, you're buying in at the all-time high, because that's the nature of the stock market over a long period of time, as it tends to grow. So, like, to say you're buying it in an all-time high, that's true a lot of the time. He's saying that like it's a big deal. I'm not saying the market's not in for a correction. I think it is, and I think it's going to be a pretty bad one. But that's also not a very good argument to say, like, oh, it's at all-time highs. Like, yeah, it often is. That's how the stock market has worked for the last century.
Any year before. What's going to happen? Well, you have this manufactured war, and I'll say that.
Oh, boy! Oh boy. I don't know if I want to touch that.
Manufactured war happening right now between Iran.
Oh, he keeps saying it. Oh, no.
And Israel.
Marantz, do you think that, like, is this a thing he just thinks started the Iran-Israel thing? Does he think this is a new thing?
And we knew about it as a U.S. market. We knew about it weeks ago when Trump put in a travel ban, when Trump was already setting up, hey, here's what's happening in the Middle East. We're going to get everybody to the embassies and get them out and evacuate. They knew what they were about to do. This is like preemptive strike, right? But when you know things like that, well, then you know you can do the market as well. Here's the telltale sign. Cryptocurrency right now is taking a dump on the weekend.
Is it? I actually have no idea what Bitcoin is at. Hold on, let me look. I haven't looked at Bitcoin's price for a while because it's so insane. It's still over 100,000. Jesus Christ. If Tether could, stop, I'd really appreciate it.
Liquidity pump. They pour money in all week long, then they drag it out of you, and those couple of companies, couple of people that bought it up at the top, well, now they're bag holders, right? They're hanging on to the top. GameStop spent $500 million on Bitcoin from 93,000 all the way up to 110 in that window. We don't know their average, we don't know how much, but we know that it was reported they bought 4,710 Bitcoin. The reason why it impacts their balance sheet.
The Bitcoin thing still drives me crazy. Any company buying Bitcoin drives me fucking crazy.
And or their income statement is because at the end of July, whatever the price of Bitcoin is versus GameStop's purchase price, that goes to the bottom line. So it could affect their income. Could say, you know what, they didn't make a profit, and it would be mainly because of the Bitcoin purchase. But that.
Okay, but what if Bitcoin goes down, Marantz? What if Bitcoin eventually actually crashes?
Fluctuates quarter after quarter after quarter. So some quarters might be magnificent, some quarters might not be, depending on how much you bought. This is why GameStop didn't leverage their balance sheet and their income statement with a huge purchase, more than what, you know, the Bitcoin bros wanted. I think Ryan's very responsible with his money. He takes his time with it. But to put it up against our assets...
Spent like $1 billion on Bitcoin. I wouldn't call that responsible.
Which we only have about $400 million in actual property and plant. And if that's the case, then that's what he bought, right? It's okay. It's not a big deal. But moving forward, if Wall Street's going to try to tank the price of Bitcoin, throw it all the way down to the ground, remember who you're up against. You're up against companies like MicroStrategies who have, 40-something billion dollars worth of Bitcoin plus. You're up against people that use Bitcoin and crypto as collateral for their short hedge fund. So they could even get margin called the lower it goes. So yes, I would see an increase in securities, all right, the stock market, 6,000 points, people pump it to dump the crypto to offset. And it's, it's hedging their position. But as GameStop keeps going up, well, then you're going to see the real pressure because GameStop has more convertible notes. They have greater price discovery above 30. That's where everybody wants it. That's why everybody poured in an extra $1 billion from institutional investors just this week alone. Now, I've seen people put out offerings that never get filled. Something like AMC, even MicroStrategies is offering $25 billion and no one's buying because they went and reached too far. They overextended themselves and they have no cash to back the investments that they're making into themselves. Buying Bitcoin and recycling it, right? round tripping those funds. I know they think they have this money glitch, but they don't understand that it actually ends at some point. It ends when you can't go to the bank anymore. And that's the point. Right now, it's the hardest of times to go to the bank and ask for money, certainly for free. Ask any company that's trying to expand, any company that's going to these institutions saying, hey, we have a great idea. Doesn't work that way. CoreWeave is a great example of that. CoreWeave went out there and started buying these chips from NVIDIA, these chips that are now obsolete. Numerous Mag 7 companies were buying these chips. And do you know what happens? Well, they now have an asset write-off because those chips are no longer needed. The value of the chips has diminished greatly. Well, you don't have that asset anymore. You wasted that money. How are you going to pay back your creditors that you borrowed the money from? That's the issue right now. This is all waiting to happen, guys. This is an implosion of the market. It's going to happen. You have no choice. And the reason it's going to happen is because of technology. Technology just...
I would agree that there's a large correction, in particular because of all the money that's being pumped into AI stuff that's a dead end right now. To be clear, I'm not saying AI in totality is a dead end. There are functions for it, but it's being shoved into everything. So, yeah, stuff's overvalued.
Keeps doubling every 6 months. It's like you get better and better and better. It's like you saw an HD TV turn into a plasma TV, turn into an LCD TV, now a 4K TV, now a QLED TV. It never stops, right? The product never stops, but the feed is the same. And that's the issue right now with AI. It's not, you don't monetize on AI. It's added value to anything you're selling. You try selling it, pick a price. And then whatever you're trying to sell is going to get diminished in value instantly the minute someone else does it better, bigger, and longer 6 months later. That's the truth of this tech-driven market where tech carries. But you see people come out and say, hey, we're going to hit 7,400 points, 7,000 points. I saw somebody say we're going to hit 6,500 points on the spot. I said, how? No amount of earnings equals that. No amount of earnings is going to equal that. So I don't see companies coming in 9% above. And you would have to have every company be 9% on earnings, and it's just not going to happen. Anyway, to brainstorm back, to trail it all back to what GameStop's doing, the optionality of having this much cash when markets correct means that GameStop will be able to buy what they want, when they want, how they want, and have controlling stakes into companies.
Okay, but then what are they going to buy, Marantz? Your entire strategy is hoping the market crashes so you can buy an actually successful business. Why don't you just invest in a successful business?
This is what Warren Buffett did. Warren Buffett stacked cash for years, bought into companies that were frowned upon, and kept buying in when everyone kept pushing the price down lower.
I hate when he tries to go to Warren Buffett for things. I promise you, Marantz, Warren Buffett would not respect what you are doing. It's just not. Okay. Let's move on. What else we got? Oh, God. What's Cosmic Lightning Warrior up to?
Was announced his proposed private offering of $1.7 billion in convertible senior notes. And I did see it earlier. Someone did sum this up very well. I did want to call it out because it's done really well. I don't even tell them what their name was. Where is it?
Good background music.
Where is it?
I don't have to. Hope I don't have to remove it.
What up? We're gonna find it. Here it is. This is the main thread. Let's pull up the thing real quick so y'all can see it better. And we talk about this over the long term, how the trend is actually up, especially since April of last year, 2024. Up. If you look at since the squeeze, been up. So if you've been buying on the way down and buying on the way up again, I mean, truthfully, it's up.
The only people making money are the day traders, man.
Okay. And so, like me, I'm up 52%.
Will I be playing date everything? Probably not. I'm not really into dating sims, though I've never really played them.
As of today.
Might be funny to do on stream.
Now,
You thought he stopped making videos? No, he still does. He's actually started doing conspiracy videos because I think he recognizes that there's not a lot of money in the meme stock stuff. So, yeah, he did a video about a secret alien base. He did one about the Philadelphia experiment. He just did one on that scam car that ran on water. It's just bullshit.
on the short term,
He just transitioned from one kind of bullshit to another, basically.
will we go down? Yeah, probably. I mean, especially with tariffs coming out after
It's not Twitch friendly. Okay.
earnings. This is what I said happens. We get smacked down pretty regularly. But the shorts are short. So the price cannot go down. So what they have to do, they have to continue to kick the can over time. And what Ryan
The price can go down. The price absolutely can go down. That's so irresponsible to say, oh, there's so many shorts, the price can't go down. Is that financial advice? The price of the stock can't go down?
Cohen is done. I talked about this in my last stream, and this is what I call
The price has gone down since he posted this, by the way.
the GameStop long piggy bank. Is instead of them being able to take this company down into the ground like they want to, Ryan Cohen has said, no.
They.
No. I'm not even taking a damn salary. Because of that, I have spent this time right here making the company better over time. And
How is the company better? They're still not operationally profitable and their footprint continues to shrink. How are they better?
eliminating the executive team, making the company better and more profitable over time. Only 50 out of these two, 50% of them were positive and 50% were negative. Ever since, positive earnings. So company's going up now. Okay. So over time, the company has an uptrend, which means that as of this point right here, this is like the inflection point of the company being a long-term piggy bank. Now on the way
Sorry, I
that
didn't mean to skip
company has
ahead.
an uptrend, job is to create the
Where the fuck was I? I'm sorry.
the GameStop long piggy bank.
There we go.
This
guy used to be big on promoting MOAS too. That's funny. The shift is like stark. He used to be like, yeah, the MOAS is gonna happen. Now it seems like he's like, oh, it's a long-term thing.
Instead of them being able to take this company down into the ground like they want to, Ryan Cohen has said, no.
Is the teleprompter broken? No.
No. I'm not even taking a damn salary. Because of that, I have spent this time right here making the company better over time and eliminating the executive team, making the company better and more profitable over time. Only 50 out of these two, 50% of them were positive and 50% were negative. Ever since, positive earnings. So company's going up.
They're not operationally profitable though.
Up now. Okay. So over time, the company has an uptrend, which means that as of this point right here, this is like the inflection point of the company being a long-term piggy bank. A long-term piggy bank. Now, we always talk about MOAS. We talk about...
Okay, but here's the thing. Companies aren't supposed to be piggy banks. That's a bank. Companies are supposed to be machines that make money. Just a peach with a $1 tip says, so is it a human pig bank because it's a long piggy bank? My crown got fixed this morning, so less pain. That's good.
You know, the new short squeeze. Can it happen again? You know, it looked like it was happening, honestly, last May around here, and then it got hit down. Why? Because of Ryan Cohen. Ugh, not so good, right? You know, people keep...
Yeah, it only went up. I think that was when Roaring Kitty came back briefly to pump it.
crapping all over Ryan Cohen every time the price goes up. You know, we do this sort of thing. But his job is not to create a short squeeze, especially when the timing's wrong. His job is to create the
Why would it be the wrong time for that? Don't you want to uncover all this alleged crime?
optimal business financial situation possible.
I'm gonna speed him up because he's slow.
So by locking in the shorts, not only were they have an option to either get out early, pay up, and make the company more money, or to continue to hold their short positions, which they're going to do no matter what. They're screwed both ways to Sunday, but they can take the money right now and pay us as GameStop, pay GameStop the money, increase the balance sheet of GameStop, and allow us to have more cash on hand, allow us to
Give GameStop the money. How does he think short selling works? Oh, I understood, Just a Peach. I know what long pig is. Does he think that when you short sell, you're taking money from the company and then you gotta give it to him at the end? That's not how this works. At no point would GameStop get money from short sellers. Like, what?
do whatever we want with the money at 0%. I mean, it's kind of a win-win for us. Now, who does it screw? It screws over people who are playing with call options for sure. But then again, if you know what's coming after earnings, you probably could have predicted this. Call option people got...
I would agree that that should be what it is, Dillis Filler, but that is not functionally how they exist in the world, so...
Screwed, and it continues to happen when you see a run-up or some height. Huckleberry Backfix with $2 says, just up, baby. Boom, 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 boom. That's exactly right. Up, up, up. He could do this thing every single time, all the way through Oblivion to continue our cash. What he should be doing with it, I mean, at this point, we have so much cash on hand. When this is done, we will have like, what, close to, I mean, damn, close to 8 billion in cash. If my math might not be right. No, wait, that wrong. It's, yeah, 7.5, 8 billion at least, right? So then it comes down to, well, what will we purchase? Well, that's not a bad place to be at as a company, to be able, especially with somebody strategic like Ryan Cohen, who continues to every time he makes a company, goes to a company or an investment, he's a winner. It's not like you have a guy who's like, yeah, let me put it all in red and he loses, and put it all in black and loses, put it all in red again.
They talk like he's been in so many companies. Literally, it was Chewy and GameStop, and he tried to get involved in Bed Bath & Beyond, and that didn't work out. Where is this long list they're claiming of successes?
Loses. No, it's like Chewy, win. Here, win. GameStop, win. Here, win. Here, win. And by the way, he's betting that he's going to win.
Wait, here, win. Here, win. What were those? Chewy and GameStop. And then you just kind of yada, yada, yada. Because there are no others. Oh.
Big, in order for not only the investors long-term with the piggy bank to get paid, but himself to get paid. Because he has to get paid because, I mean, as much as it's nice to work for free, motherfuckers don't want to work for free. Okay, nobody does. Yes, he's got a bunch of money on the bank, but he's also spending his money. Think about this. He's spending his money to continue to buy more shares in order to, what? Dilute his own profits? Fuck no. He's trying to continue to up our value and at the same time, his own cash out. These types of people
He's increasing the book value, which is going to increase his payout whenever he decides to leave. He's directly fucking you, and you love him for it.
Are not in it for the short term. They're not in it for a squeeze or a lottery ticket. I know that's fun. That is fun. Will it happen? I believe so. Of course, I think that one of the most important things of all time is infinite risk. But the problem with that is if the other conditions are not right, there's a lot of ways for them to wiggle themselves out of that, like a la January 2021. So how do you squeeze shorts in a corrupted financial system that is so corrupt that they can create infinite number of shares? How do you squeeze the shorts even if DRS doesn't work? How do you squeeze the shorts? Well, you don't let your company go into the ground. Shorting a company in the ground is bankruptcy, right? It's trying to make them never have to pay up and make a ton on the exit. So if you're a startup company, for example, you're not looking to make your money up front necessarily. You're looking to exit. And when you exit with a ton of cash, or you get purchased with a ton of cash. Those are typically how people make the most amount of money in these situations. But like, let's just say a typical startup. So, you know, if you take that same philosophy for short sellers or for hedge funds, they try to make their little bit of cash here and there, of course, but they look at companies that they can drive down over time, like this, into the ground, and make money the entire time on the way down, and then on the exit never pay anything. Now on the way up is a different story. Now it's like he's giving them all, like, basically it's like, hey, what do you want to do here? It's like, yeah, you can make money on the way up.
Is he orbiting stupid or just grifting? I think he's stupid. That's my call on this guy. Like, he might be grifting too, but I legit think he's just dumb. Like, he's not even making that much money on this at this point. He used to get a decent number of views, but like, this video only got 4,000 views. I don't know how much, like, live streaming tips and stuff he gets, but it doesn't seem like it's that much. So if this is a grift, it's a pretty shitty grift.
As well, in the short term, that might cover those short positions, but we're also getting to the point of no return. So he's literally forcing shorts to buy and give us money as the stock pushes up and bet that the stock will go up and bet against their own short positions. I mean, and by the way, in the interim, yes, on the daily chart, you might lose a little bit of money here and there, yes. But we all know we're going to continue to buy the dip. I'm going to buy some tomorrow. We're going to buy more the next day. The next day, we don't go anywhere because we're maniacs. No, we're crazy. We don't care. It goes up, it goes down, sideways forever. We don't care. We just keep buying. $5 from, what the hell is that name? Wazir Salman. Wazir San. Mr. Lighting, welcome back. You're doing awesome. More woos and infinite risks. Yes, sir. Woo, $5, baby. So we're looking at basically what I call the long piggy bank. Or if you want to short call it, the long piggy. Now think about Coca-Cola or Apple. Do we have a product like that? Not necessarily, but we have a lot of cash to buy a lot of different things right now. We have a lot of cash to buy.
GameStop's gonna buy Apple?
A lot of different things.
I don't have the money for that. Apple's one of the most profitable companies in the world.
You don't necessarily have to have the iPhone to turn into Apple. You don't necessarily have to have the ingredients for Coke to turn into Coke. What you need to have is a strong, well, we have a rabid fan base. You have profitability. You need future.
You don't have a rabid fan base. You have insane stock bros. There's a difference. Hydrate.
A future-focused company that is also customer-focused. In gaming.
Quasispec with 1,000 bits. Wow, that's the first 1,000 bit we've got in quite a while. Thank you, Quasispec. Says, to be fair, I think dumb people are more likely to be generous on stream donations because they're emotionally dependent on the reinforcement from the streamer. That's so true, Quasispec. You're so smart. Wow, so insightful. Thank you for the money.
Gaming is not going anywhere. In fact, we've already established an NFT marketplace, so we can just kind of dial that up at any time or reinvest it back into that economy as that presents itself. In fact, NFTs have kind of like, as far as pop culture and just culture in general, taken a back seat. Remember COVID? NFTs were everywhere. Logan Paul selling NFT, this person selling NFT, this person.
Yeah, it was incredibly fucking stupid.
NFT. And the new thing that people are doing are launching meme coins, like Haktua coin, you know?
That's not a new thing. That's an old grift that they're just doing again.
But you don't see us doing that shit. We're not milking the investors that way. What Ryan Cohen, I believe, is doing is this right here, is this one right here. He's taking these two.
There are better ways to get milked. Just putting it out there. Toreador with 100 bits says, I agree.
Things. And
you're so smart, too.
Just driving straight down. Power driving down, straight down. A big throbbing FU to the shorts and to Wall Street. Because you got to understand is putting them in a precarious position. And every single time that we do an offering or there's a convertible note, everyone bitches and complains. And if you've been in here long enough, you need to learn something. You need to stop it.
Okay, he is getting super chats, I guess. He is. He's gotten, what, 5, 10, 2, so he's made $17 in the last 15 minutes. That's more than $1 per minute. Maybe it is just a grift.
You need to just stop. Because we don't need no sassafras up in here. Okay? We need to understand what's actually happening. $10. Do you think they'll merge with PSA cards? I don't think so. A pointed tip, though. I mean, honestly.
Oh, he's drinking. That explains why he's talking so slow. He's probably tipsy.
Think of when Jamie gets an S&P 500.
And he was like halfway into that beer, too. And that's like a pretty... Oh, he's more than halfway. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's drunk.
Think of when Jamie gets an S&P 500 and shorts got buying involuntarily, and then Jamie should be in the EFT in the future. I mean, it's like okay. Let me explain this to you guys, and in one other way. Okay, imagine there's no way to have a MOAS. Okay,
I can imagine it. I'm there.
Short squeeze, right? But there's no way to have a MOAS because of the mechanisms in play. But
the mechanisms being how it's always worked.
Maybe you're not trying to have a MOAS necessarily, but you hate shorts and you also love proving everybody wrong, and also you love deep fucking value.
You love proving everyone wrong. Oh, so you're a douche? You're a douchebag? Fenekagami says, remember everyone, not getting a lot of money doesn't mean it's not a grift. It just means you're bad at the grift. That's fair.
Now, what that means is what you could do if you're somebody like Ryan Cohen is you take over the company from here to here. You become the driving force. You reinvest as if it's a startup. Imagine you take over a startup company that was called GameStop and you had cash and you just keep buying more shares of that startup company. You know, it's not even, you know, it's not GameStop at this point, but let's just call it GameStop. It's a startup called GameStop. Now you are running GameStop. This
I
startup.
like this metaphor because he has to be like, what if our company was in an entirely different situation and was a different company? Like, yeah, that would be better for them. I would agree. H-Bird says, I don't like shorts either. Let's stop doing short sales and start doing skirt sales.
Company. But you're reinvesting your cash. You're not taking any money out of it. You're not paying yourself money. You have already made money elsewhere, but you're successful at it. Now, people are trying to destroy your company, and that is pissing you off. But you also know that if I just buy up all the shares or prove that the SEC is not going to do jack shit, you know, most of the time, even if it does pop to a certain point, we saw what they can do. There's a certain point of like, they're kind of going to send them. Anyways, you know. So what does that leave you to do? It leaves you to say, I got this. I'm going to transform the company while everyone can still thinks it's dying and says, forget about it. Leverage, I mean, honestly, it sounds bad, but leverage the loyal fan base in a way that allows us to get the company to gather as much cash as possible.
It feels like they're trying to create a perpetual motion machine. Like, it's like he thinks just the apes that are really into GameStop can shop at GameStop, and that'll make the share price go up and they'll all get rich. But you can't do that. You can't bootstrap your way into infinite money. That's not how any of this works.
And allows the people who have allowed us to gather as much cash as possible, if they are buying and holding the way they say they are, like the Lightning Warrior, they should be up about 50%. Now, if you're somebody like Roaring Kitty, you're a billionaire. I'm not Roaring Kitty.
H-Baird with 40 bits says, does this guy not realize that if he wants to invest in a different business sector, he can just sell his GameStop shares and buy shares in a company in that sector? He doesn't want that. He wants to prove that he was right all along. The money is secondary to feeling like he gets to say, I told you so to people.
Would we be
in my view
great friends? Of course, we would be. Are we both handsome gentlemen? 1,000%. Do we both enjoy having a beer? I would love to have one. Do we both like the Red Sox? Yeah, I do. I can hit a home run over the left field wall, the Green Monster, anytime, any day, no matter what age.
What's more embarrassing, being a meme stock fan or a Red Sox fan? Just curious.
In fact, somebody needs to reach out to the Savannah Bananas or any other team in that league and let them know that I'm a free agent. Let them know that they need me. That being said, I digress. My shoulder might fall apart throwing a fastball, but that's okay. I can still hit a ball to the moon. The only thing you can do at that point is to make the company over time become like a Coke or Apple if you invest it early. Like, yeah. It would be nice to invest it back here, sure. But
what if our company was one of the most profitable companies ever, they say, about a failing game pawn shop?
You kind of had a chance, sort of. I mean, like at different points, to invest pretty low. I mean, and over time, it's forcing Wall Street to bet against itself. You're forcing Wall Street to bet against itself. That is what we're doing. We're forcing Wall Street to bet against itself. Woo! Another 999 coming in from What's this, Ahmed? We're roaring, baby! Yeah!
If I ever react that way to people giving me money, please kill me.
And some people are saying, even like on Supersonic, they're saying, you know, like, and I mentioned it last stream too. I was like, if the time is not right, if the time is not right, and there's a MOAS and it destroys the world's financial system, which we all know logistically should happen.
Or maybe you're incorrect about how things work. Maybe consider that. Just a little bit. Fennikagami with 50 bits, thank you. And Toriador with 100 bits says, woo, 100 bits, yeah. Woof, 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 yeah. Why you making me woof? What the fuck?
Well, now we got a bunch of Bitcoin, but
I understand that you were trying to get me to yell like him. Why woof?
If that did happen, and we've had millions of videos about that before, but just to sum it up, basically, if there's a MOAS, then they have to sell off everything else, and basically we set the price, so the price goes astronomical.
Was he woofing? I didn't pick up on it.
F your market cap, show you my dick on
hats off. What do you want me to wear for the hats off, depraved ambiance?
the table. That's the price I'm going to set, and what's the price?
Wolf ears. I figured. Fennikagami says, meme stocks are more embarrassing than the Red Sox, but less than the Angels.
Price this price, no. What's your price, that price, no. What's your price, that price, no. Because you're not selling, I'm not selling, nobody's selling, baby, until we get to the price we want. Because you're that screwed. When that happens, everything else gets...
People sell all the time. People sell every day. How do you think you're buying more stock if no one is selling it? Sorry, I'm looking for the wolf ears.
that out. And in some things like the dollar milkshake, it's not directly because of GameStop necessarily, but the dollar's value is going down as well over time. So we're hedging against that as well. So having a MOAS or allowing the price to run out of control at the wrong time is not good for the company. It's not good for you and I necessarily. It is something on the short term, of course. It is. Of course, it would be good for you and I because we would all be filthy rich. Of course that is. And so that's the part that pisses everyone off. But even better is continue to pad your accounts long term. Have the best high yield savings.
Toreador with 50 bits makes a wolf noise that I'm not going to make for money.
Account of all time of, whatever. Let's just say low end 30%, high end 80%. I mean, whatever yours is, I don't know. If you're not screwing, what is this music?
I don't have a lot of self-respect, but I have enough.
And then over time, it runs up. And I believe at the opportune time, just like everything, all roads converge. And the people that are having to bet against themselves get screwed. The company, hey, we didn't do anything but make our company better. Hands clean. Investors' hands clean. There's no COVID. There's no us buying. There's no Reddit thing. We've just been buying and holding, baby. That's what we've been doing for years. GameStop, dumb money too, bitch. And I'm the fucking, the stock. Put me in the money. My likeness better be somebody great. And that somebody should be me because there is nobody like me. Woo! What do you see? Do you see how this is not necessarily a bad thing? In the short term, on the daily, sure. We're probably going to get slapped a little bit tomorrow. What the fuck? We'll probably get slapped around a little bit tomorrow. And maybe the rest of the week or whatever. To me, that is buying opportunity. Last earnings,
whether anyone likes it or not, GME is going way, way, way up.
Woo!
Godspeed. High voltage sign emoji.
We're at 0-20! Coming in hot tonight, baby, whether anyone likes it or not. GameStop is going, woo!
Loud noises aren't a joke. Loud noises aren't a joke.
Way up!
I know I'm a bit of a hypocrite on that front, don't get me wrong, but I want to point it out. Loud noises aren't a joke.
And to you, sir, I'm a valuable member of the Space Force Wazir. Going crazy in the chat. Love it, baby. Whew. And you lay a dude in face paint? First of all, sir, it's called war paint. Second of all, I don't know if you know this or not, but I like big old double Ds. Anyways. April, this is when we ran up, honestly, 50, 60-ish. That was crazy. The offering did slam us down. That is kind of a kick in the nuts to your investors in a way, but if your kids are eating a bunch of sugar and it tastes good in the short term, and you're the dad, you pimp smack them across the face and say, you need to eat meat and do squats.
Isn't child abuse funny? Ha 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 ha.
That is better for them in the long term. If you make them run 2 miles with you and they cry and you teach them how to push through it, the gains they have long term are better than the short term gains of giving up. Remember that. Now that
I hope this guy isn't a parent. Holy shit.
That might suck. But just like God, he's a good father, baby. Woo! There's a plan. Do they broadcast their plan? No. Now, where's GameStop going? Do they just sell the next Diablo game or the next Skate game or the next Halo or the next Call of Duty game? No. Or the next console? No. Does that help the company? Yes. Because guess what? Gamers are going nowhere. Where else can you buy a physical game? I mean, Target, Amazon, sure. You can do these things. GameStop has 2-hour delivery now, I believe. They're setting themselves up for the future and they're still profitable. And they're not even truthfully, they're not even known as delivery people or service based in those ways. Like Amazon would be like, what, where can I order a Nintendo Switch? You look on Amazon, you're like, oh, maybe I get one from here. There are still lines at GameStops nonstop. You don't have to have every piece of every person that plays games, but the market and the people that the video game community and what they sell and the nostalgic aspect and the trading card community and basically the nerdiest people are never going away ever. And every year that goes by.
I'm going to put this out there. I'm a pretty nerdy person and I stopped shopping at GameStop about a decade ago because it sucks. And the stores are usually pretty gross and the employees clearly don't want to be there. And it usually smells because there's someone in there who doesn't know how to shower. You ever have that? You ever go into a GameStop and there's a guy there? It's usually a guy. Sometimes it's a woman. Usually it's a guy, though, who just clearly hasn't showered in a week. And they don't understand that their smell is certainly noticeable to other people.
Is more chance to sell nostalgia. Think about this. As you've grown up, if you're around my age, maybe you're a 90s kid. Okay? It hurts a little bit, but 90s stuff is nostalgia now. So looking back on that, I mean...
Yeah, it was almost 30 years ago.
They're selling those. I mean, it never ends. And then you think forward. You think, okay, well, what's not just what's the past we sell, what's, coming out currently in the present with games or consoles. What's the future look like with NFTs, tradables?
Does he still think that... Stop trying to make NFTs happen. They're not going to happen. They had their little pet rock 15 minutes. They're gone. Stop it.
And the future of the metaverse. Now you could argue Meta and X, Y, and Z or AI or whatever is all positioned. But we don't know what they could buy with 8, 10, 12 billion, whatever they're going to get to. as we continue to climb up over time with the long piggy. Woo! Oink, oink, bitch! Oink, oink! Fill her up! You telling me I get 4% with a normal,
You actually can't invest directly in Steam or Valve, Amber. I think it's a private company, so I don't think that's publicly tradable. So you'd have to, like, be an actual... You'd have to, like, contact them and buy in.
high yield savings account? Oh my God.
And they can say no, because it's private.
This is the best high yield savings account you'll ever see in your entire life, ladies and gentlemen. And we're just getting started. So on the short term, if you're a swing trader or an option trader, you might be a little sad. Well, I've gotten burned on options here too. I've made money on options too, playing with GameStop. Yeah, I did. Okay. I'm not a roaring kitty. I wish I was an options psychopath, but to me, options are a casino within a casino. I'm not autistic, as much as I wish I had the superpowers, but not the face. Okay.
What do I even say to that?
I was blessed with this face, thank God. I was not blessed with Rain Man technology built in necessarily. Now somebody in there's a hybrid, his name's Roaring Kitty, and that person right there has figured out the game of options and been able to beat the casino within a casino. Not everyone can do that. Some people are making money, that's fine, that's great, lovely. Tastes good, lovely.
I say strike one. Yeah, strike one.
It smells good, lovely. Making money on options is great, lovely. But to me, it's also putting more gunpowder back into their accounts because they kind of hedge their bets on these things within. That's why I call it a rigged casino within a casino, so it's already rigged. And to me, the true best way to earn value in the stock is long term, to continue to buy shares and hold them. That's just what I do. And hopefully that's what you do. I don't know. It seems like that's what everyone's doing. And there's a whole DRS community, there's a whole short-term community, this whole super long community, this whole people of never going to sell community. And then there's just, it's just us. We are the movement. Woo! I got a P already. Long piggy. Odds of bankruptcy are practice 0. Done. At what point do we see profits? Go to your church. We don't see a profit, bitch. Read the Bible if you want to read about profits. Profits, even long term, even Roaring Kitty's profits are unrealized. Well, they're realized gains, but they're until he sells, right?
I think he already sold.
I mean, that's why he played around options and able to get some cash.
Because remember, he put a bunch of money into Chewy a while back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he already sold.
Cash out of that thing. But the shares he holds, I don't believe he sold a single share yet, technically, right? As of the last we've heard of him. Now there's all like, oh, did Roaring Kitty unfollow Ryan Cohen? There's a million reasons somebody could do that. Who cares? Only reason that matters is like first of all, let me easily debunk this theory that Roaring Kitty and Ryan Cohen are, he's out of GameStop. Let me debunk the theory that Roaring Kitty is out of GameStop. This is very simple. You see that red line right there going down? At any point, Roaring Kitty could have been like, I'm out. But he didn't. At the tip of the spear here, he came back and said, I'm not out. I'm, by the way, balls deep. And I've been saying for a while, it doesn't matter how many offerings they do. It could be great for the company, whatever. He showed he's balls deep about $1 billion in. Okay? At any point, anyone would have we would have been like, hey man, you're still the greatest of all time. Congratulations on your gains. We're still in because we believe in the company or whatever. A lot of people probably would have followed him because he does have a cult following and because...
No, they would have crucified him had he publicly come out and said he sold all his shit.
Yeah,
It'd be hilarious. I wish he would.
Some people see that he sees things we don't see, which seems to be true. Now, to me, it would be really stupid because of an unfollow on X or Twitter or whatever you call it. While the company is in the long piggy trajectory, to be like, you know what, Ryan Cohen continues to do this, I'm out. That is some beta ass mentality. Now, he's a person, he could do whatever he wants to do. Who knows? He could just do it because he's got a ton of money and cash. He did, who knows? Maybe he just doesn't want to look at a chart ever again in his life. He wants to just go enjoy his wife and kids and raise his kids. And then when they go to sleep, make passionate love on a bet of money to his wife. He's allowed to do that. Okay. He's done it all. But to me, if you see the future where it's going,
please don't fuck on a stack of money. People don't want to handle money with your fluids on it.
Ain't no way I'm getting out yet. Ain't no way. The squeeze 2.0 ain't even here yet. We're still in. You're the deepest, longest investor of all time. We're talking about GameStop.
Squeeze 2.0. Well, like, it wasn't really a squeeze. It was more a pump. The pump 2.0 was when Roaring Kitty came back.
Hathaway. Right now, baby. He unfollowed after 9 months making a baby. Epic Caves, Mountains, Beaches, especially for the people. He's in DMs. He's in his DMs now. Vietnam is next. It's also a preemptive to be like, I had nothing to do with any of this. I mean,
it's not how anything works.
There is the case on the opposite side is plausible deniability, right?
It wouldn't be plot. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't even follow the guy. I stopped following him when he started doing convertible notes. I still stayed invested though. Truthfully, the only thing that makes me get out of GameStop would be Ryan Cohen leaving and a bad executive team taking over. Truthfully, I can't imagine a good executive team. Like, what's another executive team doing what Ryan Cohen and co have done with GameStop? I know it's a big red arrow. It's a big red arrow. And on the surface, all the normies will see that red arrow and be like, forget about GameStop. That don't mean shit. This is what matters the most. The long picky. And the long picky is all that matters. And if you know anything about Ryan Cohen and the reason he publishes these Teddy books and he talks about his dad a lot is because he...
Are we on the Teddy books, you motherfucker?
He believes in deep value like someone else named Ron Kitty, deep effing value, and long-term not selling things that should always be... You're lucky that got better, because I was about to say that's some very poor Chinese music.
Oh, strike 2. Wow, he's such a piece of shit. I fucking hate that guy. I fucking hate that guy. Speaking of people I hate, look, it's the PP crew. Let's see how they're doing, and then we'll maybe call it a night after we check in on the PP folk.
Right? So in terms of tinfoil, this was an old post from Bill Pulte. Then we're going to bring in Mike Hands here.
Pulte's busy being in charge of what the fuck, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, or strike that, reverse it. I fuck it up a lot. Anyway, Pulte's in the Trump administration, so he hasn't been around as much lately. He deleted all of his meme stock stuff before he had it approved, or was approved by the Senate, so.
This was an old post from Bill Pulte, posted by Kobo, okay? It says, Ryan Cohen has a great brother. His name is Brad Cohen. Great man. Again, a very odd kind of tweet. And again, some people out there believe that maybe Bill Pulte doesn't know anything, yada, yada. I think personally he does, right? But if you really analyze a lot of this stuff here, right, the fact that he has these capitals listed here, RC, H, you have B, C, he's basically saying RC, HBC. So I don't know. After seeing this from Coble today, and then going back and actually looking at these dates, right? You have like the DK Butterfly versus Cohen getting updated. Then all of a sudden you have HBC updated. Then all of a sudden you have AST updated all within 2 days. I think, to me at least, it looks like most likely RC is the one behind HBC. And again, we don't know because everything is under seal right now from where it is. So that's pretty much that's my analysis when it comes to HBC. I think that they're...
That analysis? I don't really think I'd call that analysis.
There is enough evidence that kind of supports this. If you guys want to add anything, would love to hear it. If not, I'm going to bring in Mike Hands here, see what's going on with Mike Hands, and then we'll continue on here.
Yeah, real quick, let's get Mike up here. But on this subject, like the HBC subject, it would be, I think we should probably spend some time talking about the Curzon case and how that concluded, because there was definitely some interesting little nuggets that came out of that the other day. And big shout out to Spurious Spunker on being boots on the ground and getting the notes out to the community. That's a big deal.
Yeah, so the Curzon thing, honestly, man, I think that they've already denied him out of court. I did have some comments on the Curzon thing. I think the most important thing that
That's the guy we saw in the court thing. The first thing we watched in this stream was Curzon.
Came out of it was actually a post here.
Yeah, we know he's got 3 horses. Like,
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, not the 3 horses one. Shit, who posted it here?
I'm not going to talk about the fact that the judge literally said all your shares are gone. It's pretty funny to not say it.
Shit, I may not have it on here.
We don't have to bring it up right now. Let's get Mike up here, but sort of on the HBC, like relatively interesting Bed Bath and Beyond stuff. The Curzon thing. I thought there was one thing there, but yeah, let's talk to Mike.
Yeah, well, hold on. Yes, let's bring in Mike here, but I can't find it. But one thing that stood out to me in that I wanted to comment on is that Judge Papaya basically confirmed, okay?
Did he call him Judge Papaya? I'm pretty sure his name is Judge Papalia, not Papaya.
To everybody who is tuning in, for everybody who's following what's going on with Curzon, obviously it's been denied right now, so we're moving on past that. But the most important thing is what Judge Papaya said, and is that if there was an excess amount of money, despite what the plan says in terms of being canceled, there would be enough money for shareholders still, right?
That's what you took away from that? Oh, God. What am I even doing with my life? Why do I do anything? What's the point of this, chat? Chat, what am I doing? Who is this for? Like, you're entertained ultimately, and I guess that's the important thing. But, like, I told these people years ago, like over 2 years ago at this point, that they lost, and that it's over, and they're just not, they just don't listen. They're just still on this. What's the point of it all, you know? Why do we get up in the morning? What's the point?
Right, which is very, very important, right? There's a lot of people out there who are constantly asking, look, if you look at the plan, it says that, under no circumstance, future equity will be awarded to these shareholders, yada, yada. You've seen the documentation. But Judge Papalia has quite literally said it, okay, that there is a high likelihood that we could, in fact, again, I think his thing was that we'll cross that bridge when it comes time, right? So I do think that there will be some kind of liquidity injection in this. You'll most likely see some kind of white hat. If it isn't already
a white hat, like fucking QAnon.
Revealed on the HBC side. But again, I think it is all very interesting. Let's go ahead and bring in Mike Hands here real quick tonight. So chat, please give a warm welcome to none other than Mike Hands. Mike, what's going on, my man? Great to see you here at the PP Show. What's going on?
PP, my brother. What is up, fellas? Justice, Wally, chat. How the hell are you?
Good, man. Yeah, just kind of sitting back, discussing a couple things of what's going on here. I mean, we've been in this for so long, man. Like what? How long has it been? Almost 3 years now that we're coming up on. I mean, I took my first investment in this stock August of 2022, right? So we're coming up on a 3-year anniversary here. I mean, it's hard to believe, man, that it's been this much time, but. What are your thoughts, man? And where do you kind of sit with a lot of this stuff? I know you've been killing it over at GameStop, man. Has Ryan Cohen given you a raise yet, man, or what?
Well, to start off, it's been a dream, the dream job.
Oh, he got a job at GameStop. Oh. Well, at least he's making money on GameStop somehow.
Best place on God's green earth, and that's a fact.
No
raise.
The Holy Land.
Yet. Not really asking for it. The only thing I would like is to just keep promoting awareness and keep spreading the gospel of the pro membership, because it just saves you money at the end of the day.
The gospel of the pro membership.
Hey, real quick, chat. We're all investors here. We got into Bed Bath. Happy 3-year anniversary, you beautiful people. I mean, hey, look at us, But if you're an investor, all right, what better way to invest your money than into something that guaranteed, no TA required. I apologize, you copy. Shout out to the homie. No TA required, no thought necessary. $25 and not even that, 15 technically, because we're giving you a couple coupons out the gate. You're making $5 a month for an entire year. That's over 60.
Oh, he's doing the sales pitch right now for a GameStop Pro membership. I'm having flashbacks like Vietnam.
$65 alone.
Just let me buy Chibi Robo and leave.
So that more than doubles your investment guaranteed, and then discounts on top of that money saved. So just wanted to make sure I'm making a big shout out for the pro membership here, because that's what we do. But if you haven't, also real quick, go into store or online. But PP, my thoughts on this whole thing. I'm having a great time. Currently, we're doing, actually, let me show you the cool controller. GameStop sells a lot of cool stuff. This is the Doom Guy controller.
Are you fucking serious? He's doing an ad for GameStop right now. What the fuck?
Very cool. Love it.
Who does free ad reads?
Some real exclusive stuff. But yeah,
Marantz, obviously.
As far as the play, I'm happy as a clam.
What are your thoughts on this fucking goddamn like truck heist that happened? I heard there was 2,000 Switches stolen, man.
Yeah, a bunch of Switch 2s got stolen that were on their way to GameStop. Pretty funny. Just a Peach with the dollar says, that was not what the judge said. He said that if money was found after creditors were paid, of course it would go to shareholders, but he did not believe he would be on the bench when that happens, as in it would not happen before he dies. Yes, they're misinterpreting.
And like Fast and Furious type shit. What's going on here?
You know, there's just people out there that don't want.
Are these our streams or your streams for the purpose of description? Mine? You guys are an audience, but like, I wouldn't call a show I watch my show.
Want to see us win. I wouldn't be surprised if Ken Griffin told some people to take it to stop our profits.
Isn't it weird? It was literally an inventory truck going straight to a GameStop. I mean, I gotta say, you can't make this shit up.
Dude, and we need them. I'm waiting on my store's waiting to get them in. I think we're gonna get them in the next couple days. But I mean, they're gonna be like another week. I don't know how long it's gonna be. I'm pretty sure GameStop's good on it. But yeah, that heist was ridiculous, and I dare them to try and sell it or trade it because I guarantee you Nintendo has those serial numbers, and they're just gonna brick it. So just the same thing with steal Apple
Probably
phones, you know.
But I don't know. They might get to sell them to some sort of fucking fence. I don't know.
No big deal.
I don't know how the world of stolen high-ticket electronics works. I'm not a criminal.
But
at least not that kind of criminal.
Yeah, dude, PP, I mean, fellas, this is the best time to be alive. I know you've said it multiple times, PP. Guys, we won. You need to remember that because
they already won.
It's only a matter of time. They shut down Curzon. Again, I don't have any information.
I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, he can.
I'm sorry, real quick, I have to use the bathroom. I've had to pee for a while and I held it off. While I'm gone, Cher will tell you about the day time ended. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, or pox upon your houses. Okay.
Take his 3 horses and ride into the sunset, you know, because we're waiting. All right, we're patient. We believe in Ryan, and we know what's gonna happen, right?
Right.
But as far as the rest of this stuff goes on, it can be a little difficult waiting. But GameStop's doing so many exciting things. I mean, Push Start Arcade. Who knows?
What do you think that's about? I mean, again, you know, I wouldn't think that maybe they're gonna. I mean, have they filled in the employees on what that's about? I mean, you have like the scoop on what the hell they're playing.
They teased some image for GameStop that said Press Start Arcade. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be some sort of like digital arcade type thing. I don't know if they're gonna start trying to do arcades in their stores. I don't know.
Plan in here or what, Mike?
Well, no,
Mike, hit us with that
Yeah,
inside
hit us with
info.
what they're telling the employees over there. There's got to be some kind of email that came through, man.
there's nothing. They don't tell us anything.
Also, you're gonna get this guy fired if you had him break like some sort of employee NDA.
Shit.
I couldn't be the one to blow up a $8 billion operation. So they're tight-lipped on everything, which is good. Even if I did know, I couldn't say anything. You know, I am a humble shill for GameStop, and I just think something big's coming. You know, and this is just me speaking personally. I don't have any insight. I'm just a key holder, guys. I just make sales. All right, so I don't know anything, but what I do know is in my beliefs. And we've been in this for so long. We have been stacking up so much money. We've been profitable. We got, what's that, 4,710 Bitcoin plus $8 billion with profitability and no debt. I mean, the sky's the limit on what's possible. And I think that something might happen real soon, in my opinion. I'm excited, you know? And a lot of people are kind of getting tired, and I get that. You know, it's hard when you do your day-to-day.
This sounds like a fellowship meeting. I've talked about this before, but the further we get into this, the more the people involved sound religious about this. Like, they talk about it less like a stock and more like a religion. Has anyone else noticed that? The longer this goes on?
Day job that you may not like, and we're waiting to get paid to not work anymore. You know, that way we can be like True Justice, sit in hell in the Bahamas.
I fucking hate that mindset. Why do you think you're owed not having to work? Like, that's not reasonable. I understand if, like, you can't work, but you just don't wanna. There's a difference, man.
Bahamas somewhere with the sun shining and them fancy shades. I mean, we're gonna get there one day, boys.
He's
Just
living
like
the
Wally
dream.
Buck, dude, you got a gold chain and a black shirt, fellas. It looks like you've won already, and I'm right behind you. But yeah, as far as it goes, I mean, I think it's soon.
I think so too. I think that honestly, looking at like a lot of this, again, a lot of this math, you know, adding it up to what we would essentially need as Bed Bath shareholders, I think that maybe this could be it, right? And again, some people have speculated that maybe it could be certain buyers. One thing you can't argue is that
Thanks, Panning Gaz. I appreciate it. Welcome.
no matter what, someone out there is buying these offerings left and right, man. I mean, and again, where is the money coming from? Is my biggest question, because I think the first one for sure went to Sultan Al Madid. I don't know where the second one has gone. I mean, we haven't really seen, you know, last time when you saw this bond deal kind of coming out, Sultan Al Madid was kind of dropping like a lot of tinfoil photos of them, and Ryan Cohn were coming out. It was pretty easy to connect the two that, look, okay, most likely this bond offering was purchased by Sultan Al Madid for whatever reason.
All right. I think that's enough of the PP thing. Last thing, maybe not last thing. I don't know how much I even want to get into this. How do I talk about this? Okay, oh, real quick, H-Baird with 40 bits says, the MOAS is their rapture. Every problem will be fixed and they'll be special because of what they did. A lot of white patriarchy is about setting up a system where a person is simultaneously always ahead of others, but able to pretend it's because of decisions they made and not just how they were born. So y'all remember Ape Father? He was big into the AMC stuff. He had some personal tragedies in his life that I'm not going to get into and certainly not going to make fun of. Genuinely tragic things. He lost his mother, and then he lost his wife in a very short period of time, which is tragic, and I have nothing comedic to say about it because it's not funny. Toreador says, Kai AMC Mundi. Anyway, so that sucks, and that's sad, and I'm not making fun of that. However, in the meantime, he met another woman named Sarah. Basically, like, within a month or two of his wife dying, he met this woman named Sarah. And, well.
In the event...
The title of this is, Sarah, please watch this video, hun. I am so sorry, and I want things to work out between us.
That Sarah sees this video, I just wanted to say how sorry I am. I messed up very big. She needed me. She was always there for me. And whenever I needed her, she would speak to me for hours. And the one time that she needed me the most, I didn't listen to her. I was trying to help her, but what I should have done is listen. I should have listened, and I should have just let her vent. And that's
Yeah, making general videos about people like this to apologize is very Chris Chan. Yeah, this is weird, man. This is weird. Fennec Gami says they think they're owed not working because billionaire anti-worker propaganda has drilled into people's heads that losers work, winners have others work for them. It's kind of how there's subtle propaganda that smart people are what others would call bad people and dumb people are those who get bogged down by things like morality and friendship. The sin of empathy. Toreador says Beldar making a public apology to his wife.
what she needed, and I didn't come through. I failed her. And she rightfully got very upset at me. And currently is not talking to me. So I'm heartbroken, as you could imagine, because I really care about her a lot. And I would like to fix it if she gives me a chance to fix it. I will listen to her. I will let her vent. I'll be her best friend because she deserves that. And that's what I should have did. And I'm really, really sorry, Sarah. You know, things were going great between us, if you want me to tell you the truth. We were planning on spending time together in the summer, and we were gonna travel together. We were gonna go all the greatest restaurants. I was gonna take her to Carmine's. And I feel like I blew it.
Did I mention I think he's getting catfished by this person? I don't necessarily think she's a real person. I could be wrong, but anyway, he wrote a song for her.
So even though Sarah is currently not talking to me, I'm blocked. We had a great 2 weeks together. She really helped me out. You know, my beautiful wife, Jennifer, my mom passed away. Hardest year of my life. Hardest year of my children's life. And she was a great friend. She was a great friend. And for 2 weeks, she spoke to me every day, 4 hours, some cases 8 hours a day. She brought me a lot of strength. And I wrote a great song about her. And let me tell you something. Even if things don't work out between me
Cut in Total Recall. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
and Sarah, I'm going to play this song at all my concerts I'm going to do and my live streams. I love this song. You know, look, Billy Joel wrote a lot of songs about women that are no longer in his life. You know, he wrote a song, Just the Way You Are. That was his first wife, Elizabeth. All for Lena. You don't talk with Lena no more. You know, only the good die young. Come out, Virginia. Don't let me wait. He probably doesn't talk to Virginia. So sometimes you write songs for women and there's a period of your life that you knew them. And
Toreador says a fan of In-N-Out. I bet he likes his burgers monster style. His favorite monster, Mike Wazowski. I don't get that. I know they do monster style burgers, but I don't understand the Mike Wazowski.
then you don't know them anymore. But this song is great. I love this song. It's called My Sarah. And I'm going to keep it with me. I may not be able to keep her with me, but I'm going to keep this song with me. Let's do it.
Oh, it is animal style. I'm confused even more then.
I faced the darkest time of my life. Pain that I felt cuts deep like a knife. So I wait for you to speak to me. You always get me through.
least it's not AI slop. It's not even that bad of a song. It just makes me sad.
My Sarah, I don't feel alone no more. You opened the door to a new life.
How about we Elton Jont? No, he's not bad. It just makes me incredibly sad. This is a person who lost everything, and he's at the absolute rock bottom of human misery. And he wrote a song, and here it is.
Feels just like a dream. My Sarah. We are both nervous, it's moving fast. Had doubts and argued, but it didn't last. Now I wait for you to speak to me and make up until we do. And I feel like I can't go on because I need you. My Sarah, counting the days and the nights till we meet. My Sarah, I don't feel alone no more. You open the door to a new life together as a team. It feels just like a dream. One more time. My Sarah.
I think he's using the hook too often. You need to use it a little less. It's not a bad hook. Gitara says, despite everything, at least this is one of the most human things someone can do. So glad it's not AI slop. I agree.
Counting the days and the nights till we meet. My Sarah, I don't feel alone no more. You open the door to a new life together as a team. It feels just like a dream. My Sarah.
I hope he gets some help, because, oh boy, he's not doing great. So, I hope he's able to get some help. Let's see, what else? Oh, here's from, I think this is from the Teddy subreddit. This is a post about the cancellation thing. Oh, there's a juggle command. Oh, I can't do it. My balls are downstairs. My juggling balls are downstairs, so I'm gonna deny it. I'm sorry. I'll bring them up before the next stream, I promise. Anyway, how much did he lose? He claims hundreds of thousands of dollars. He claims. Anyway, so here's a post. Cancellation isn't the end. It's the reset and the opportunity for M&A, merger and acquisition. Some people keep treating cancellation like it's game over. It's not. In Chapter 11, canceling all equity interests is often just a legal reset, wiping the slate clean so no shareholder has preferential standing. Ugh. That doesn't mean recovery is off the table. It means if there's value, it'll be distributed fairly without legacy baggage. If an external buyer is involved, or there's a future plan tied to the shell or asset recovery becomes a structural possibility. The court isn't stupid. If they weren't protecting the plan's integrity or shareholder potential, they would have required a new plan or an alternative path. Instead, they confirmed this plan and kept everything airtight. So no, cancellation doesn't mean nothing's coming. It just means no one cuts the line before the end game plays out. Bro, it's Chapter 11. They didn't cancel your shares because they hate you. They canceled everyone's shares to reset the board. No bag holder left behind. Any word on the orchiectomy front, speaking of? Tomorrow is my therapy appointment to get the letter for the orchiectomy. So that's good. You know what would have been bad? Letting insiders keep their shares and leaving retail wrecked in the dust. This isn't the rug pull. This is the reboot. Canceling isn't game over. Cancel equals the table being set. Now, all of this is bullshit, obviously. They lost and they don't have any shares and they're not going to get any money. But there's some cope for you. You can tell that they won because they made themselves the Chad. They made themselves the Chad, Wojak, so they win. Wojaks are the stupidest hieroglyphics. All right. I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else to deal with today. I don't think. There was some other stuff, but it's not that interesting. So we're probably good for another meme stock meltdown. We will revisit this again in the future if there's anything more to say. But, you know, there's less and less to say about it. It's just really sad. So let's see who we're going to rate on Twitch. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out today. I really appreciate it. I was having a hard day earlier. I'm doing a lot better now. So, thank you for hanging out with me and maybe laughing at my jokes. I don't know. I will be streaming tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'll be streaming yet, but it will be something. So I'm excited to see you again then. I'll raid Queen Pib. Alright, I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow for whatever we get into. Maybe a tinfoil spotlight, that might be good. I have some longer tinfoil documentary type things I wanted to get into, so maybe we'll do one of those. Alright, have a good night. There were jokes. Ha ha, you're so funny. You're so funny denigrating me as a joke. It's ironic, because that's what I do for a living, but I can't take it in return. Anyway, have a good night, everyone.